Hi. 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 Hello! 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 You're gonna go out of the jail, guys. I wanna hug you all. Hi! I'm back! It's just hilarious to back the internet, not to glitch. Brother, I am welcome back. Thank you. I am miserable. Oh, you're back in the jail. Guys, I don't know.
I'm disappointed. No. Go to a corner.
I don't know.
And think about what you've done.
I don't know. Стрим стал, все. Мы вернулись! Все возвращаемся. I hate that shit. I actually hate that shit. Nah. Brothers and sisters, I need to wait. If I want like completely normal internet, I need to go fucking back to the city. I cannot be a country woman anymore because of my own government. I can't physically. Except for in prison, God forbid you'll bite me again. God forbid I bite people from time to time. It's how I'm showing my affection. God forbid I'm showing my affection from time to time. God forbid for women to be passionate. God forbid. Sorry, I'm not wearing hijab ears. That went a little bit too far, right? Yes, that went a little bit too far. I'm gonna drink on my coffee. Good coffee. Man, I think the coffee it's what I was not like given having I okay, fair. That was fair. That was deserved. That That was fair. That was deserved. Yeah. Good copy indeed actually. Not so much, not so little, you know, as it should be. The only thing I'm not fully okay with it's that it's a hot outside. It's hot in my room currently because again, I'm at the second floor, right under the rooftop that was consistently heated up by a freaking sun the whole day. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be like blazed in the sun. Okay, see. Since the internet, I hope, is better now, we're gonna go and continue drawing my daughter, I guess. We talked a little bit. Again, I'm sorry that what happened has happened. I guess like the 2 streams are now clipped to, right? It's not 1 anymore. It has a muted... Wait, what? Muted audio? What? Why? Oh no, is my thingy wait, it's not login, it's my own mistake, sorry. Okay, that's on me. My own fault here, okay. Okay, so anyways, as I said, today we're gonna continue drawing my daughter. Since I have I have a lot to do. It's not even about me having like more mental capacities or something like this. It's just because I have so much work to do and all of that stuff, so we better get onto it, But of course, as usual, to make it more enjoyable for you, I will try to put on the video actually on the background because I have undiagnosed ADHD and I need to divide my attention at least on 2 different sides. Either way, I just gonna explode probably. Okay, let's see. We're gonna watch about problematic people, and today's problematic person is going to be the insane female leafy clone Madame. How about this? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty well. Let me make the quality a little bit better than it was because I put it to really shitty quality beforehand. Okay, oh, there's my second chat. There's my second chat from my second channel, so let me put this like there. Here we go. So now it's only you guys, and here we go. Yes, where's the little window for some reason is above everything, which is Not cool. Not how it's supposed to be. No, no, no. It needs to be under the overlays. Here we go. There's a little window. Put to the window. To the wall. And we go to the art category, of course. Art. Here we go. Right there. Yes, right there. As if you can see what I'm doing. As if you can see. And again, since I forgot. Since I forgot. Gaki, hi! How you doing? Since I forgot. Since I forgot my numpad, I'm gonna manually put myself lower. Because I don't have that num combination. I'm gonna put myself manually lower. Oh shit! I don't have my jaw in hand. Like bind it. I don't have it. Here, I don't have it either. Shit, that's not it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't have it on the hotkeys. Shit. We're so fucked. Boys and girls and non-binaries, we're so fucked. We're so done for. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out somehow, somewhat. Right? Yeah. Okay, it's going to be expront. Where's my daughter? No, I don't. Yes, I do. Yes, you do. Yes, everyone does. Okay, say how is it of the volume? Good volume? Not too much, not too little? Maybe a little bit like that, right? I lost you guys. I lost you guys. I lost you. Here we go.
Just another commentary channel, pretty much skinwalking Leafy is here, but due to her extensive coverage on people like Onision, she suddenly became the talk of the town. Didn't matter to anyone watching that there was nothing notable about her, apart from her gender.
Do you like the
In
video
short
so
term,
far?
No.
Tell me
But
if you
as
don't
time
like it,
passed,
absolutely, we can
Madame
switch.
appeared to have been hiding her erratic behavior. In fact, the most interesting thing she would do was the action that caused her downfall.
With her hair.
After attempting to
Are you
dox a
laughing at my
15-year-old
daughter
over
right now?
credit and the meltdown
Sorry.
that followed, her career was in
Sorry, I probably don't follow pretty well like on your actions currently. Are you making fun of my daughter? Sorry, baby, I'm not following. Are you making fun of my baby girl? Are you making fun of my soul and blood? A little bit is not. It will not cover. A little bit, it's already like kind of a crime, you know? Sorry, you're making fun of the extension of me. Oh, thank you, Stream Elements. Thank you. Yeah, no one. Thank you, Stream Elements.
Why you not drinking, huh?
Thank you, Stream
Wanna
Elements. Thank you for the IJ dummy, brother. How you doing? How are you? How was Lies of P yesterday? Sorry, mommy. You're not my child. Wait a second. I remember having only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and possible 7 child if they still want to be my child. So sorry, I have only 6, 7 children. See, I need to be put under sedation sometimes. I think that's it is actually someone from my audience cutting off my internet. I'm pretty sure it's just the people who wants peace for other people, you know. I'm pretty sure. Domi, how you doing? I think it's time for me to run away in shame. No, stay here. Stay here. You need to face your fears. You need to face your fears.
Freefall. And most
Or you're
holdouts
never
left
gonna grow
when
as
they
a
found that
person.
she had scammed those who had raised money for a lawsuit.
Went from ooh, nice. Was it hot today at your place?
That's the story that everyone knows, and it's been retold many times by different creators, yet none of them have said the full story. Madame should have just been another footnote in history, but everything I've been finding after digging through old archives shows a lot more than what we saw. Madame's online footprint goes back years, and throughout there's a recurring pattern. A woman with an unrelenting desire
That's
to get
okay, good.
attention,
I won
getting
that
revenge
boss.
in whatever way she can. And
Wait, did you win further? Like, did you just win the boss and finish on that, or did you win further? How was it? How did you felt? Did you felt like victorious?
actions seem to eclipse what she's most known for, so take a seat. This is the story
I've
behind
already
the
said him,
female
brother.
Leafy clone who doxed her artist.
Now, if you're stuck in 2016 calling people leafy clones, you need to reevaluate your sad life.
She wants to leech off of me for content after I made my video, you know, doing...
And it's gonna be a long process, and I am willing to go through it because you will not get away with this. Period.
She hasn't just stolen
Period.
once, but twice, and then released personal information of a 15-year-old.
Period.
You're the one who forgot to credit and cried over one comment. And then you tried to dox
And
them.
she scammed her community
Period.
through her Patreon, saying that she was going
Wouldn't
to
rabbit yesterday.
sue Onisa.
Rabbit.
Ash had actually hired people from the dark web.
And I realized who it was. I was like, oh, this is Madam. This is like trouble. And I kind of like dipped.
Period. Oh shit, my...
Madame, or Ashley S, was born on February
I
8th,
like.
2000. Her history
Nice.
is as dubious as ever. She's lied and exaggerated throughout her career. But according to her
She was
own
there for
narration,
blood.
her early life wasn't pretty. Madame says she's diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and
Oh,
severe
that's
depression.
harsh.
It's possible her upbringing was the cause of this. As she notes,
Your daughter without a face looks like she's wearing a hoodie. Okay, I'll give her face back. Okay. Sorry, I was just... Mommy was working on something, okay? Plastic surgeries are never pretty, okay? I've been working... Okay, now she's having alopecia. Okay, okay. Here. Happy? Or some kind of strange mask. Here. Happy? I can't even give her glasses. Where is it? Happy? Happy? Yeah, yes. Yes. Okay, now let mommy work.
her family were abusive. In fact, her recollection of her last day with the family ended in a fight with her stepdad. When the police came and saw her bruises, they apparently neglected to help her and treated her like a criminal. In response, Madame packed her
They
bags,
treated me like a
went to the
criminal
airport,
because I killed
and flew
somebody!
across the country to the middle of nowhere. From there, she would ask strangers for help and then rebuild her life. Keep in mind, she says this happened a few years ago at the time of upload, so she would have been around 15 to 16 years old. It's also worth noting that she said this story in a video where she claims she broke out of a mental facility. It seems harsh now to cast doubt upon this, but as we go on, you'll see where I'm coming from. It doesn't help that she threatens to sue the mental facility in the video, and as we'll find out later, her history of lawsuit threats is shaky, to say the least. Back when she was a young teen, Madame loved watching videos made by people like Leafy is here. If you're a fairly young viewer, you might think this is a little unlikely. I mean, what interest would a teenage girl have in a guy who makes videos bullying kids? But back then, that was exactly par for the
Because
course.
she's a bully.
Leafy had a massive following of teenage girls, people from Tumblr who idolized him. Some of them would even go on to have their own notoriety, like Katie Triggers Me. To put it simply, 2016 was a pretty different time. One where it's hard to escape the shit out of Leafy and his female
There's no
character
Lois
Femi.
here to
That's
attack
the
them.
fandom that Madame Group was a part of. For the next 2 years, Madame would go from a fan to a content creator, making typical commentary videos. One thing to note now is that throughout her career, Madame would go on to pretty much skinwalk Leafy. A lot of commentary channels have borrowed aspects of Leafy's content, used it as a jumping off point to develop their own style, and these people are, in my opinion, unfairly labelled as Leafy clones. Madame is different. She was quite literally a Leafy clone. She copied his style, way of talking, type of videos, and even merch. I mean, this is far beyond using inspiration as an excuse. So why did she stand out amongst everyone else? Well, to be blunt and honest, it's because she was a woman. When it came to what she was actually saying, she did not stand out from anyone else. People liked her because the commentary audience was undeniably full of dorky 13-year-old boys who were going through puberty. And that fact didn't sit well with Madame. She would fight for seemingly every inch of her 20,000 subscriber popularity. She would relentlessly argue with other people about her legitimacy as a creator. Sometimes she'd make entire videos ranting against her comment section. It was clear that this kind of stuff got to her.
And to allow your 10-year-old brother to watch cancers such as Leafy shows how much of a f***ed up sister and person you are. Alright, Chris, please do us all a favor and open your ears before you tell me to shut up. You clearly didn't listen if you're...
I like how her voice sounds so like pretty cute, you know, like pretty mother-like even, right? And she's saying like, all right, shut your ass up, kill yourself or something like, of course in Minecraft, right? Do like all of this bad stuff, like you can shut your ass off with such a pretty smooth voice, right? That is just not fair. I want to have her voice. I want to have her voice, and at least I'm not going to like bad shit. I guess she did. I don't know.
me of being a up person and accusing me of allowing my brother to watch Leafy. I'm not a controlling person. Policing your siblings and treating them like you're their parent would make you shitty. Now, I know your IQ is below 20, but at least try your best to use your brain before commenting. It's the least you could do. This weirdo slid in my DMs telling me I have potential and that my channel is gonna blow up. Now, if you're stuck in 2016 calling people Leafy clones, you need to reevaluate your sad life.
That excerpt is from an old video made by the YouTuber Simply Dad, someone who would go on to become friends with Madame in early 2019. And what he notes about her behaviour is very interesting. In an interview, Simply Dad recollects that Madame would kind of be all over the place. It's well known she was flirting with another YouTuber known as Muggy, but at the same time she was flirting with other commentary YouTubers, saying if things didn't work with Muggy, she would get with them. She got into calls with YouTubers bigger than her, immediately asking to collab, and those who did usually ended up s***ing her and getting her nudes. I talked to another commentary channel known as OG Lofi, who did not date her, but was around when she was active, and his stories seem to echo the sentiment.
Yeah, so she dated Muggy, dude, and like I only talked to bro a handful of times. We had a couple of friends in common, but anytime like she came up, because she cheated on Muggy with Loki.
Loki? Muggy, Loki.
Yeah, like they were doing like East.
Man, Loki don't care what
happened
here.
He was bragging to me about getting Madam's nudes. And so yeah, he was like, yeah, actually he did
I
show
Loki
them to
don't
me.
understand anything about the Loki.
I had adamantly been like, no, I don't want to see this chick's news. It was not meant for my eyes. Like, to be clear, I was not a participator in trying to spread this. I was very, very against it, but he still like pulled them up on call, and I was just like, dude, like, f off, like that. I don't want to see that.
I guess also I think Tom commented this, that like Turkey Tom, that she would like try to flirt with everyone and tell them specifically like, oh, if things don't work out with Muggy, I'll just f you a VidCon, maybe a VidCon or something.
She was a huge clout chaser. Like that is something that I really remember, because she tried to like hit on Scrubby, but Scrubby blew her the f off. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Scrubby. I like these names. I like the names.
About that in a conversation, I remember. Like she was.
How long do you think you'll be John's daughter, and what will you be doing for the long haul? Are there any future orders coming up, or will you just keep playing until the next one arrives? I already have children lined up. I have the second son. I have a possible another son. And I have to rig my son that I drew 1 year ago because suddenly it came up last month. So I'm packed with the things to do, for better, for worse, for best. Taka, how you doing? Hi. Sadly, I cannot say hi to you with my drawn hands because I don't have it right now. I don't have my hands.
It was like, yeah,
my hands.
Everybody at the time, and I guess the only person who was down bad enough was Loki.
First of all, I find this interesting because it paints two very different pictures. On one hand, Madame abhors the idea that she's only known for her gender and tries
Thank
to
you so
prove
much,
she's not.
Taka. I hope the same goes for you,
It seemed like she
sweetheart.
was wielding her gender, directly using it as a way to get a step up the ladder. Either of these motivations usually make sense, but both at the same time, that to me indicates a total obsession with attention and clout. And this is a conclusion I draw from some of the stories I've been told. To me, it almost seems like she went too far to try and further her career.
He was honestly sending
She can show 6'7". I can show 6'7", sadly.
In the future.
This is the saddest part, actually.
Several people who had these nudes that she personally sent them to. I remember Cyrus mentioning that she was being
Victory? That's it.
But like,
this is when he was underage.
Yeah.
This is when he was like underage.
Oh, wait, how old was? I don't even know how old Madame would have been back then.
So I was around 18 or 19 at the time, and she was like 20, 21. Like she was of legal drinking.
She was like 21, 22.
Yeah, because like she was able to drink before Scrubby was, and Scrubby was a year older than me.
Wasn't Cyrus like 14?
So when I met Cyrus, I was 18 and he was like 15. Yeah, he was 15.
I know she used to constantly like playfully flirt
Here we
with
go.
Trigga,
Jeszcze хорошо. Ну и славненько,
much
ну и
more
славненько.
underage than she was.
Это самое главное.
I think he was like 14, 15 at the time. It wasn't like
No,
she
she
was
can,
interested
yes.
in anything. It was she's saying it's kind of like keep him on her side. She's done that with a lot of people. Lots.
One of the people that Madame tried to flirt with was the commentary YouTuber Scrubby. Madame and Scrubby met back in the
Scrub
VC in
Daddy?
2019,
Like that
and
one?
according to Simply Dad, she begged him for a Fortnite collab video. Scrubby kind of just ignored her and was working on some other stuff. and Madame became so enraged by this that she concocted a secret plan to ensnare him. A few days later, she would send 2 girls to flirt with Scrubby and Simply Dad.
Oh my
After
fucking
this, Madame would confront Scrubby and accuse him of being a pedophile because these girls were underage. This is despite the fact that, first of all, the girls claimed they were adults and only changed their ages after, and secondly, Scrubby also never reciprocated any of the flirting and just ignored them. But that was enough basis for her to falsely smear Scrubby as a pedophile to multiple other people. Obviously, it's a strangely vengeful move for what was such a nothing burger.
Because she tried accusing Tom of being friends with Scrubby. She tried accusing Scrubby of being a pedophile. She tried accusing me of being a pedophile. Like, she literally sent some chick to go hit on me and Tom and Scrubby, and she would lie about her age, and then like hit on us, come back to Madame. She tried to confront me.
But Gishichi, as
like, "Oh, you're a
always, draws
pedophile." I was
along
like,
with the
"No, this
weird
person
videos.
told me
Absolute
they were, like, 18." So and she told Tom
Absolute
she was
cinnamon
14,
did. What the
and she
fuck
told
is going
Scrubby
on?
She was this age. So like, it's fucked. She wants to leech off of me for content after I made my video, you know, doing Fortnite with Simply Dad, making a video with Turkey Tom and Simply Dad. Imagine if she tried to do the same thing to Scrubby, but then Scrubby didn't want to do it because he just doesn't f with her. And like, look at me, I don't like her. I vocally said that I don't like her. I wouldn't take back what I said about my video, so now she's trying to say all this about me, right?
Holy
She wants the
shit.
content, and if she can't get it, then it immediately turns to this person's like an evil pedophile, baby killer, puppy kicker, us saying that she's not lying. I even got her to admit that she was lying. And
Not
said
the
sorry.
puppies.
She tried to blame it on the 14-year-old, but I was like, dog, you're like friends with her. Like, that's like the biggest giveaway. I was so sus of that person the moment I looked at the mutual friends, and I was like, oh, Ashley's a mutual friend. What is that? Very interesting.
Now, I don't mind if you take some of these statements with a pinch of salt. There's not much evidence, this happened years ago, details may have shifted over time, but everyone who I talked to behind the scenes seems to tell the same story. Madame acted as a sort of pick-me girl who used her status to climb to the top in any way she could.
Am I
Far
pick
before
me?
her entanglements with the art community, Madame already had a negative reputation. Simply Dad's impression was that she was a content leech who went above and beyond for petty revenge, trying to get attention by any means necessary. But how true would those words ring?
Ah! I got scared, sorry.
As we've seen, Madame was desperate to become famous despite not having any content value or even work ethic that could justify that fame.
Yep, you're
so
a pick
her
me.
route forward was through hopping on trends.
Okay,
In mid-2019, popular
okay,
commentary and Reddit
okay,
YouTuber Slazo
if you
faced
wanna
accusations of
think
sexual
so,
assault.
okay.
Madame immediately jumped on it, making a video fuming about
Think
the
about
few
it as much
skeptics
as
of
you
Slazo's
like.
accusers.
Okay.
However, because of the stupid that people
Freaking
are saying,
haters.
I just feel the need to debunk it because
Haters
it
gonna
really just breaks
hate
my heart,
anyways.
for this poor girl. So first of all, there's some diehard Slazo fans / people that aren't even fans of him. I shouldn't even say people, the incels that aren't fans of him. But just
I
despise women,
bad
so
word,
they're
bad word,
just
bad
poor
word for
girl.
Twitch, bad
After
word.
Slazo proved himself mostly innocent, Madame
Bad
would
word.
subsequently sink into the background. She purged the tweets and videos about the situation quietly, and no one batted an eye. At least it played to her advantage this time, that her audience cared about her voice more than her words, and that would carry her into the next trend. It was during 2019 that the meltdown of
Victoria's
Onision
Telegram
had begun.
hater.
Once a liked YouTuber for his quote-unquote funny videos, Onision had everyone turn on him after allegations of abuse arose. This would lead to some funny but staged mental breakdowns in videos, and it became a content gold rush. Madame was one of the first on the scene, making videos covering Onision's every move and gaining huge amounts of subscribers every step of the way. Again, the subscriber gain wasn't because of any real content value, apart from being leafy but a woman. This was because anyone who covered
But a
Onision
woman.
was getting the adoration of his
Leafy,
hate
imagine,
community.
leafy.
But anyone who covered him, including Madame,
But a
were
woman.
facing issues. Onision was constantly taking false copyright claims and strikes against videos, either to profit off them or to make sure they weren't up, and Madame had had enough. She announced she would be suing Onision for these false copyright strikes by flying out to Washington.
I'm going to give updates about this entire process. I am suing him in small claims. I am suing him for approximately 1,500. Originally, I thought it would be 2,000. However, because he is also striking me twice and my video is going down again, it can go up to 2,000 or more because of the income that I am losing. So therefore, this can increase.
Ты серьезно
with
подвидалась про
time. But
педофилов?
as of
А
now, I had my
чё?
roommate print out papers for me.
Да не про
Don't judge
педофилов,
me.
Федос.
I don't have a printer here, so I asked him to do it when he was at work. And yeah, I have the King County papers ready to sue him in small claims. And it's going to be a long process, and I am willing to go through it because you will not get away with this. Period.
Help fund Onision being sued. FAQ below. Read before commenting. Are you allowed to show Patreon content? Yes, but it's limited. That's why I barely showed anything and mostly talked about the content I saw. Patreon reviews are very much so a real thing, but it's limited. Are you allowed to talk about legal issues online? Yes, I simply explained what I learned about suing in small claims and publicly stated extra details. It's no secret that suing in small claims is a thing. I see no issue explaining it to my subscribers because if I were vague, donating would feel like a scam, at least in my eyes. You deserve to know these details. Like I said in the video, any future progress I make will be updated to Patrons only. I'm refraining from further public updates until I go to court. To the diehard anti-Os, this was fascinating. You have to keep in mind, this is before Chris Hansen really got involved in the situation and Onision tried to take him to court. This was a move for legal action against Onision in the blossoming of the entire situation. But looking back in hindsight, there are a few glaring issues. Obviously, no one raises funds for a lawsuit through Patreon. That in itself is incredibly dodgy and non-committal, and it's near impossible to refund people if it doesn't happen. Additionally, it's hard to even discern whether Madame would be able to win the case against Onision. At least with the specific video, she did use Onision's Patreon, which is paywall content. I'm not against her doing it, but from my admittedly primitive knowledge of copyright law, I doubt she'd be able to defend it in court. Regardless, she had announced it, made several videos discussing it, and said it was going to happen. As the months rolled by, Madame would rise from around 20,000 subscribers in late 2018 to being on the precipice of 50,000, having doubled her sub count. Her videos regularly went past the 100k view mark. It seemed like her newfound audience finally appreciated her for who she was. Madame had, through a godsend of pure luck, made it. But there were still doubts hanging around. For one, the Onision situation wouldn't last forever. Eventually, people would move on, and what would happen to Madame then? Not only that, but as time went on, her updates about the Onision lawsuit became less and less frequent.
Oh my god, I remember that. Dude, that was so weird to me. It was immediately when I saw her making videos about that and talking about that, it was obviously just a thing to get her, like, just relevant. Because everybody knows that you get into drama, that's how you boost your I don't think she was ever actually planning on that. She mentioned like lawyers, this and that, but there was never any actual proof of her doing anything besides maybe like a free consultation you can Google set up.
People started to become anxious, and the tipping
now
point
you do it with
soon
AI.
Slimer's Choreotic was a 15-year-old artist who had most of her following on Instagram. She was also a fan of Madame's content, who gained her attention after she posted some fan art. Madame would soon become friends with Slimers, commissioning her for some character stills she could use in her videos. Unfortunately, Slimers, being only 15, didn't have a PayPal to accept payment, so the two agreed that Madame would pay her through credit. Now, payment via credit or exposure is particularly frowned upon in the art community, and for good reason. It's essentially artists giving their work for a profit that isn't guaranteed. If the videos and the channel subsequently flop, then you basically get nothing out of it. And especially for multiple character stills,
oh, credit, like credit on the video, ew!
But at the end of the day, this was an alternative. Slimers didn't have a method for payment, and both parties ultimately agreed on this. While Slimers was working on the stills, having done only one or two, Madame decided to take and use them for her next video's thumbnail. The issue is that whilst doing this, she had not credited Slimers at all. The entire center of Madame's payment method, and she hadn't even done it. Noticing this, Slimers posted a comment and an Instagram story.
Never understood
why
some people do this.
But her comments were nowhere near inflammatory.
The easiest thing you can do in this life is to credit someone.
This led to a private conversation between Madame and Slimers. Okay, firstly, you should DM me, because by the off chance I stop reading YouTube comments, then I wouldn't have seen. I'm just gonna give credit instead of a verbal shoutout. Whatever you prefer is fine by me. Also, what's strange is you respond to the thumbnail here, but then just now ask me to do this? But okay, take your credit. The shoutout then, lol. I wanted to pay you anyway. Shoutout/credit was because you didn't have a PayPal. No one credits their commission unless it's free/complimentary by the artist. Then of course credit, which was the plan, but okay, I got you. I mean credit in the description
okay,
of your
I got
videos.
you. I got you, girl.
I said I got you. Boom, done. Just DM me, because I stopped reading comments after 48 hours. Thank you, that's all I wanted. Not hating, but it was just a thing I would like. Not angry, just letting you know. Yeah, of
not
course,
angry,
but it's kind of wacky you wouldn't just DM me
disappointed.
after we've had phone calls and stuff. Yeesh. By the off chance I stopped reading comments, like, what would you expect? Had this been commented a day later, I wouldn't have seen it. I just got weirded out. You wouldn't tell me directly, but alright. Haha, OMG, I have an idea. Lol, you could sign a contract with my merch agents and take a cut from it. But you need a PayPal or whatever. But yeah, just a thought for the future. No, it's okay. There's nothing else you can do for me
It's a
currently.
PayPal
I'm
or
going to
whatever.
college next year, so one day I could get a PayPal. But I wouldn't mind working for you currently at all. I'm doing this all out of joy and fun. Yeah, since you told people to come after me and comment on my social media about crediting you, even though I literally agreed on giving you a verbal shout-out, then we discussed long-term crediting,
Oh,
my
she is
about section,
so
etc. I don't want to work
scammy.
with you anymore. It's apparent you're still talking about me, or telling people, because now I'm
She
getting recent
is
comments about it. So bye.
manipulative.
Thanks for
I
making
don't
fan
like
art.
it.
You seemed nice at first. Actually, could we just discuss this normally instead of running off like this? Those were my friends. I told them to apologize sooner. I also have friends, you know. I never wanted to attack you. Obviously, we both did a mistake together. I'm pretty sure if your stuff wasn't credited, you would vent about it a little, at least. I understand it was messed up for me to comment it, but it was never an attack. I told you simply and calmly and we discussed things. Instead of making an announcement or possibly saying something, you got angry at me and blocked me on Discord. So could we please just talk normally instead of running off? It's worse leaving things on a sour note. But if you do not want to work with me, that's okay. But please, for the love of God, do not say
15
something
years
like,
old, by the
"Oh,
way.
one of my artists sent their fans to attack me or
Gishichi,
make a
почему? Что
video." I never
такое?
wanted this to happen at all. I
Took
understand
so?
that you had terrible experiences with other people or artists, but one oopsie doesn't mean they're a scum forever.
Ну,
Literally stop
заяви.
talking to me. I've never in my life worked with someone so unprofessional. Commenting instead of DMing someone that you have personal contact with.
But she's
making
just
posts
a
on a second Instagram
child,
account and
girl.
sending
That's
people
why
after
she's
me.
not
Literally
professional.
never talk to me again. Block me. Leave me alone. You mean when I said I hope I get credit next time in my story? I can show you it if you'd like. I don't watch your stories. This is according to some comment on my channel. Do you want me to show you? I can. I actually said don't attack her at the next slide. You didn't have a PayPal when I asked for prices. You were like, no, I'm a fan. I want to make these. And I said, no way. I would feel bad. Let me verbally shout you out. Then I forgot to credit in a description whilst working on my video you were going to get that shout out from. I have made it right.
Oh my
DM'd you instead of
gosh.
commenting on your public posts. Then you send people after me. You're the most
Привет, love.
unprofessional prick I've ever worked with. I'm never texting you again. Ashley, why do you keep acting like I want to cancel you?
Well,
Seriously,
that's
are you
Sigma.
always this
Thank
angry
you,
and short-tempered when something like this happens?
Magic How are you doing? But your fucking skill upgrade, crazy. Like, actually crazy. The anatomy, fucking crazy. Good job. Good job. Compared to how you were, like, two years ago. Holy fuck, good job. Bro, that hair model, thank you. Thank you. And you're a good job as well. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah, I'm proud of my daughter. I'm hoping to be done actually with the render of her dress, like now, or something like this. Yeah, you're too nice to me. I'm nice because I see your upgrade, like actually upgrade. You know? Why are you screaming? I don't know, because I like my daughter. I don't know, man. Like, how can you not scream when you're proud of your child, huh? How can you not, like, scream at the top of your lungs, my child is amazing, it's the best child ever? Hi, Mon. This design is awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is my own design, by the way. I designed this VTuber myself as well. This is not fully like that as well. But yeah, like that. I think I did not forgot anything. I could have forgot to. Yeah. There's one. Where is it? Sorry. There's just so many things to the mod. So many things to the model. Okay. This is the. Where's the final version of it? Holy moly! There's so many. I think this one. Yeah, this one. Like that. Yeah. Like this. Yes. Yes, with a little bit of the, you know, like sussy things going on. Yeah. Valid screen, thank you. To be fair, I still don't know. Is it better with it or without it? Like, I think it's good without it as well, right? But with it, it's kind of like becoming more unique, right? And more like, you know, not slut. I don't want to say slutty like when it comes to the like human being, right? Because I don't know if you know. Thank you. Just been doing some studies. I guess it is helped you. Yeah, you're also so unique and noticeable. Thank you so much. Thank you for saying this. Thank you. Sexy and cool. Sexy, yes, sexy. Yes, sexy for sure. Like she becomes more sexy like this. BRB. Oh, okay. She becomes more sexy like this. Yes. So like this or like this. Still don't know. I mean, I kind of can do it as a toggle, I guess. We'll see. Now I need to figure out what I still need to fully render in this outfit so I can finally move on to the next one. But I think for the outfit in general, I think it might be done. I'm just hiding your arms tonight. Just gonna hide in my arms, in my 6-7 arms. But it's like subtle sexiness. Now it's taking the focus away. True indeed. My Adobe is acting up again. Holy shit. I'm not even in Adobe. Okay, let's go to her outfit. I'm happy I finally like went to render her hair as well. I'm so happy that I came back with the new powers for this model, you know. I'm just wait, is my chat's login? No. I just die arms tonight. 6-7. Wait, why am I 6-7 is not 6-7 anymore? Give me a second. How did it? Ah! There it is. I found it. You're not gonna get away from it, guys. You're not gonna get away. I might not be able to find my drawing arm, but I always being able to find my 6-7 arms. It's not my arms even. Balance has been restored. Yeah, I've been actually having like panic right now. I've been panicking right now. Oof, no 6-7. It's like kind of crazy,
Why
right?
you not drinking, huh?
Thank you for
I
that,
told you I was going to
JCD.
show you the post because it clearly wasn't an attack. I wanted to let others know who I worked for. I can't control my following and it sucks, but it was never meant to be hate. That's why I'm talking to you personally. We literally talked things out a moment ago and you're bringing it up as if it was a problem. I even apologized for saying it in the comments. I hope the
Kinda
irony
need to
isn't
fix
lost on
this
you that this is a
moment,
commentary
right?
channel, a leafy clone gunning for the head of someone and holding them responsible for the actions
Crazy.
of their audience.
Calling
As
someone
if your
leafy
videos
clone,
where you bully people
crazy.
don't have a worse effect or encourage people to do it more. Madame probably could have held out on those negative comments if she just waited like a day and logged off, or just not read the comments at all. Yet she's having this impulsive and childish reaction. After these DMs, Madame would retitle the video's description to credit an unprofessional. And a few days later, she published the video talking about Slimers, rehashing much of the same from the DMs. This video actually opens with an infamous skit where Madame calls the police on furries that were harassing her.
911, what's your emergency? Hello? There's furries after me. There's furries lying about me. I'm not sure what's going on.
Is she actually calling the 911 for this shit?
Okay, I need you to calm down. You are speaking too fast.
She is not.
What is the problem? Okay, I'm sorry, but what I'm trying to say is that there's thousands of furries attacking me based on fabrications. What do I do? Yeah, I don't really know. It's just some random furries that are making fabrications about me. So, well, what do I do? They're saying
But yeah, I hope your salmon being well for you, Magic.
or have me sued, and they wish that I get sued.
Though it's obviously satirical in nature, it does represent Madame's views in her video, as she accused Slimers of harassing her. Total victim complex. The most that Slimers did was ask her friends on her private Instagram vent account to comment on Madame's video asking for credit. Maybe it wasn't the best method to get someone's attention, but again, this person's 15. It kind of makes sense. And even if Madame didn't know about Slimer's real age, as people have debated, I don't get how a commentary channel who bases their entire identity on one of the internet's biggest bullies is crying about comments and having this impulsive and childish reaction. If Madame resolved the issue, said it was a mistake, and then not read the comments for a bit and logged off for a day, this all could have been avoided.
So hold it out,
Then
lady. How
Madame
many
jumped on
children do you have
Instagram
now?
to accuse
Right now, I mean, it's still the same amount of my children. Maybe +1 from here, right? Maybe +1, and I'm gonna actually be rigging my my child here. I'm gonna be actually rigging my child that, like, in the middle one, the most closed one, the one under the fucking bars. I'm gonna be actually rigging him. Wait, how handsome I can Ikimen? Oh, you haven't seen my son? Wait, which one of my sons? I mean, yeah, the right one? Wait, which one of my sons? My all was the sons of mine are Ikimens, but like which one of the Ikimens you're meaning? Wait, give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you the portfolio. Dick. Where is my... Oh, it was in 2025, I think, yeah. Last time I was here, you had one. Oh, no way! What? No way! You saw only one? Congrats on birthday. And thank you. The hip's been hipping. You know, the hip's been hipping. So this one. This is one of the Ikemens. One of the Ikemens. Here he is. Ikemenin. Not VTuber modeling, but yes, we're holy moly. You've been out of the loop. You've been out of the loop. But yeah, I'm gonna be rigging this model. Oh my god, this model I'm gonna be rigging. Oh my gosh, I don't freaking know. I'm just... I don't know, like... I don't... That's gonna be a wild ride, I'm gonna say this. A white-haired one looks awesome. Thank you! I want 10 of my sons! I cannot birth that much, honey! Hello, someone wants me? Hi, Melcaster! Hi! Hello, someone wants me? Someone wants you? Who wants you? Oh wait, what? What the fuck? It's my son! It's my son! Fucking sleeping agent right here. That's my son, by the way, guys. High number, please. Oh my god. That's my son, so here he is. I was like, what the fuck? What if it's on what's in? I see your avatar. sorry, I'm kind of forgetting, like, you know, I might be having a white hips, but not a white mind, so I might forget some parts of my children. Sorry. How do you rig that event? I don't... Do you think I know? Just, I've been on my vacation, and then comes Axel comes to me in my DMs and like, Gishi, so, Gishi, mother of me, how about, would you like to rig me? And I was like, what? What? And I was like, let's go. I'm pretty easy to convince, you know. I like to challenge myself as well, so you'll figure it out. You always thank you. I just want to show you one video that quite well at showing how I was not even mentally there to rig this model. Like, mentally, this model was created without me thinking about all the complications of future rigging it. I was like, okay, the rigger of this model is going to be a purely miserable person, but it's not going to be me, right? Please check out this video. Don't scare me. 1 year ago. Right now because it's gonna hurt my throat a lot. Please, actually, do not do that. Oh, by the way, another thing. My models usually... This one that you're seeing right now, like my model, it's less problematic. My first model was a hell, but this one is less problematic. But my son, though, is continuing the destiny of my first model. The cycle of being non-mirroring, basically. Face is okay, right? The hair, though, is completely different of the both sides. You cannot mirror, you cannot copy anything. The body, you cannot mirror these two hands, for example. They're completely different. Completely. The body, okay, you can, but like there's nothing mirroring. It's in the middle. The legs are going to be different as well. It's a hell for riggers. It's a hell. Do I care? No, because I'm not gonna rig it. I never jinxed myself in my life so hard. Okay, maybe. But this for sure is one of those moments. That's for sure one of the biggest moments. So as you can see, don't jinx yourself. The moral of the story, I guess, is don't jinx yourself, you know? Like, don't do that. Like, actually, don't do that. You're gonna... Don't do that! Don't do that. But I did. That aged like a fine milk. That aged like a freaking fine milk under the Californian sun. Yes. Gotta do that thing where you biscuit him and mirror both sides. Wait, where you bisect him and mirror both sides? No. How it would be? Axel, Axle, Alex. Why is it ripping a symmetrical Gish? Because he is pretty. Okay. I'm a diagnosed autistic person, okay? I don't like symmetrical shit. Symmetrical shit makes me want to puke. I don't like symmetrical shit. That includes models and all the things. That's why I'm primarily illustrator, not character designer. I like asymmetrical shit. That's why my first model is hella symmetrical. My first model is hella symmetrical. I learn from my mistakes and I don't do my models as asymmetrical as I did before because it's a hell to rig, as I said before. But yeah. I'm stupid, okay? I'm stupid. Cut him health and mirror. He's my son. How can I do this to him? But yes. I hate asymmetrical things. I'm not a fan of those. But I know that for models, it's kind of gotta be symmetrical for the better work. No thoughts behind those eyes. My second eye has been worse. No one hit me in my eye, I promise. Look, me and my son have almost the same hair color, look. Ah, that means that we're family! Family, my son, we're family. Probably you're same autistic as I am. We're family.よしよし、頑張れ、ゲシ、ありがとう。ありがとう、ほんまにありがとう。でも死ぬかも。Ah, horrible. But you know, it is what it is. It's my, oh, I kind of feel nostalgic. You know what? I want to be a witch. I want to stream with my first model. What toggles I have? Oh, nothing really. I see. What's this toggle for? Ah, it's for the angry eyes. Look, I look more bitchy with this eyes, right? Hey. Why you licking me? Stop licking me. Give me 1 second. My mouse wheel is broken, so I need a bit of time to step away, okay? I need time. Okay. I rented a bit. So yeah, at some point you're gonna maybe see me rigging my son and crying probably. Like actually crying. Like I'm actually gonna crash out, probably. But it's going to be another time. Now we're gonna draw my beautiful mama, my model. I was about to say model, but like, you know, I wanted to change it to my daughter, but it went into the wrong ways, okay?
Slimers of lying about a past sexual assault.
Mother.
There was no proof to support this claim, and Slimers refute this by sending legal papers.
My internet
to
is
the
getting
art
bad
YouTuber
again.
Noni.
Shit.
This situation had just gone from 0 to 100 in a matter of days. Much like other art commentary YouTubers, Noni was stunned at how fast Madame was just digging her own grave. Other creators like Creepshow Art tried to tell her to cut it out, before abandoning ship after she didn't listen to their advice. It seemed as the days rolled by, Madame's comments about Slimers being unprofessional continued to age worse and worse. One night,
Anything
Madame
of
was on
how to rig
Instagram bragging about her bank
fair.
account.
Fair. I recently came to rigging and I was like, huh. Like my hands remember something and my head remembers something, but in general, I'm clear canvas at most points, right? I remember something, but mostly don't. But it will come. Don't worry, it will come. It will
When she
come.
remembered something from her past conversation with Slimers. Whilst they were trying to sort out payment, Madame and Slimers decided to trade phone numbers. Now, Madame felt that everything was fair game. She first offered, and then posted, Slimer's phone number. Thankfully, the number was a Google Voice number, meaning that not everything could be tracked from it, but the intention was clear.
Intention was clear. Your mom.
Okay, usually this is the part of the video where I drop the information and tell you to subscribe, but I actually have stuff to tell you about. We have a new Discord server. Join below, link in the description. Just opened and join now.
I think I'm seeing the Matrix. Sorry, it's my bad internet. I'm sorry. Что-то мими крирующее. Привет, хейтер. А куда я мимикрирую? Я тута. Я тута. Тута-па-тута. Как ты, хейтер?
With this action, Madame turned everyone against her. This situation has escalated from a tiny dispute over credit to an attempted doxing. And the only person to blame for this escalation was Madame herself. This shouldn't have gotten anywhere near career-ending heights, but thanks to her own pettiness, malice, and inability to let things go, it did. And the backlash from this was immense. Madame's video on Slimers would gain 24,000 dislikes and criticism from everyone. Just as she had hit the 50,000 subscriber mark, she went back under, losing 4,000 subscribers in a matter of days. But instead of taking a step back, Madame only seemed to keep her foot on the gas as she drove her career further into the ground. Amongst all the criticism, a few people went out and started trolling her. She'd been a big fan of the rapper XXXTentacion, even making a cover to one of his songs. But more relevant to this situation, Madame had made some art of XXXTentacion when he died. Another 15-year-old kid decided to go back through her post and comment "he's dead" on this post. In response, she went through his post and made fun of his close friend who died. Obviously, there's a huge difference between making fun of the death of a controversial public figure who you listen to versus making fun of the death of a private citizen and close friend. Then this person brought up that Madame had previously made a video about how during high school, a friend showed her a recording of a special needs student in a sexual act as a way to bully him.
She actually uploaded like all of her Snapchats from freshman year. Like she saved all of them and then she put it in a playlist called like my freshman year. And like I remember she linked me this video and she was like, "Hey, remember this?" And she put like a little laughing emoji, so I click on it and it's literally the Snapchat of him getting off to pony. And I was like, holy shit. Actually uploaded that. That's not something you put on YouTube, but I didn't tell her that. I just sent her a laughing emoji and that was that. I mean, we don't talk anymore because I don't go to that school, but still, like, Jesus.
So of course, Madame followed that up by arguing with him on Instagram and threatening him with a lawsuit. Madame's rampage finally came to an end when she stated that she had to delete her social media, was now homeless, and had no internet. Again, remember she was flexing her bank account a couple of weeks ago. Additionally, this rest period gave content creators the opportunity to make videos on our actions and reflect on the past. It was during this point that another question came to those who were speculating. What happened to the Onision lawsuit? Update times have been thinning out, and considering that Madame had scammed someone out of their payment, YouTubers such as Repsion were suspicious. How did the money get there? How was it handled? I mean, people claimed that $100 patrons would get her nudes, and is that really an appropriate perk alongside lawsuit funding?
Did you ever hear about the where she said $100 patrons get nudes?
Yeah,
Some guy came into my server with a screenshot of their DM conversation. I don't know if it looks real or not because it's on a Android and the resolution is small, but she's like $100 Amazon card for your next month's pledge, and I'll send you old nudes I took a few months ago. Would be interesting.
Oh my god. Fresh off the press new ones? You get some old ones?
I heard apparently $100 patrons would get her nudes. Is that true?
A few.
On October 9th, 2019, Madame uploaded Apology for Everything, which wasn't an apology at all. This title, again borrowed from Leafy, was the prelude to a 2-hour-long video that's 30-minute gameplay and 1 hour 30 black screen. Everyone saw that and said, if you're not putting effort in your video, I'm not watching it. And besides it rambled on for ages about other topics, mostly the harm of cancel culture in general, which these types of people tend to do after they get in drama, despite peddling the same sentiment for years. Besides, this video wasn't up for long anyways. Madame used these same stills she got from Slimers without credit, leading to Slimers' mom stepping in and issuing a copyright strike. The only real thing in this video that wasn't mentioned before, or is actually important, is that Madame states she will no longer be updating people on a lawsuit due to people questioning her intent.
This experience makes me not want to release any further updates about my lawsuit until the internet is ready to give out the guilty until proven innocent mentality. And while in my last Onision video I did touch on the fact that I made some mistakes and whatnot, but it was very brief, I wanted to explain the process and my very few mistakes in depth and like just go through the entire process of how this happened and why, and talk about why suing in small claims is so important for small creators and all these things. But honestly, after this experience, I feel like I don't owe it to anyone. Even though it would have made a really good video, as of now, I just don't owe anyone anything From this day forward, I refuse to give an update about the lawsuit. Expect no video from me even if I successfully sue him. Maybe one day people will change and then I can share to the world something inspiring that can inform and help other small creators. But until then,
Go
expect
girl!
Again, this is a strange comment to make, especially when showing the receipts for small claims court is pretty easy to prove. The more this went on, the more it seemed like Madame had just scammed the entire community. Rumors started spreading around that she hadn't used the money for a lawsuit, but instead flew to Washington to see a concert. And amidst all this, Onision would recognize the whole situation and take a victory lap of sorts. In all this insane drama, Onision had been made to look good.
That is crazy to be able to make him look good.
Madame posted a video titled
Of
"The
all
Art Community
people.
Has a Lying Problem," in which she accuses her merchandise artist of going after her.
I got an email from my fan fiber agent in regards to the art that I paid for, and he stated that the artist is trying to get my art off of my merch site because I apparently don't have permission to use it. So I had to get all the screenshots of this artist sending me the art, and then our conversation.
Did she neglect
logs
the number
where
one
we
rule
discussed the commercial use
of the
and that
commercial
they're
use?
completely cool with it and how excited they were for their art to be on a merch site. On top of that, I had to provide screenshots of my PayPal transaction with this person because, like I said, I paid for this art. The artist knew that it was for a merch site. They were excited about it going live and even said they wanted to purchase a hoodie for themselves when it went live. So I had to showcase those screenshots on top of the PayPal transactions and be like, yo, this is my art, I paid for it. What would motivate someone to lie about this? Why I think this person lied is because they saw that it could get them a lot of attention. I think that they saw what happened to the person that made up an entire story about me and fabricated everything, including evidence. And it's quite sad that people do this, but that's besides the point. They saw that that person gained a lot of, I guess, like, attraction, or what do I fucking call this? The liar gained a lot of publicity for it. So the artist that I commissioned, like I said for the millionth time, that knew this was for my merch, that said their art is for commercial use, or their commissions are for commercial use. You get the point. So why would they lie about this when they got payment and everything was fine? I think it was for attention. So now they're fabricating a story that they were never paid and I didn't have permission to sell it as my merchandise and all this stuff, and claiming that I mistreated them and all this when that's not true. I find this quite sad.
The artist in question, Makafua, responded to the video in a Twitter thread. In this thread, she states that she chose not to associate with Madame after the Slimer situation.
But is it
and in
actually, like,
response,
did she
Madame would
actually just
remove
got
her
paid
credit.
and after the
Pretty petty
thingy?
stuff. Makafua responded by trying to take down only the icon art that Madame used, none of the merch. She claims there was nothing she did with fan fiber and challenged Madame on why she didn't show the supposed email sent in the first place. Additionally, in Madame's video, she shows Makafua's private business email, again leaking more personal information. On the same day, the YouTuber Repsion would drop a 45-minute video on Madame. In this, he drops DMs, holds her accountable, and most importantly, questions the lawsuit. As Repsion had been in legal issues with Onision before, he was the perfect person to give his perspective on this,
Repsion
and the issue
is the
became
guy
far more
who
known.
had a
We
lot
also learned
of
that after Madame's
things
video on
with
Onision's
Onision.
Discord server, she publicly took shots at Repsion for doing the same premise. However, before the video was made, Madame had reached out to Repsion on copying him and was given a whole Google Drive of his Patreon content. It seems she only went to Repsion because he reviewed the Google Drive before she did. But with Repsion's video posted, vital questions raised about the lawsuit, and unlikely possibility that refunds would be issued, how much did she get away with? Well, some people believed it was a couple of grand, Repzilla reported it was $7,000, others have come to me and said it was high as $20,000 or even $60,000. The reality is that to this day, we don't know how much Madame made off with, but we know she made off with something and there was never any lawsuit. On the 8th of November 2019, Madame would take down all her Onision videos. By this point, she'd hit the 40,000 subscriber mark, meaning she had now lost 1/5 of her peak audience. A few days later, she would change her channel name to Princess Ash, which wouldn't do much to ease the channel decay. Madame's activity through December became sparse. For her, it may have seemed like the controversies were over and she had weathered the storm. But that all changed on January 11th, 2020. It was on that day that Madame announced she was doing streams to raise money for charity, lending a hand following the recent fires in Australia. She would be doing these streams with her friend and Discord co-owner, Wang, or God of Wang.
Alright guys, so I have a friend and his name is Lee.
What up?
And he lives in Australia, and he pinged me today in my private server and was like, "Hey, I have a proposition."
Hey,
and I was like,
what a
"Sure."
drag.
Not really expecting that it would be about Australia. And he said that we should do charity streams together. And I figured that we could not only do 2 charity streams on Twitch this Friday, but I could also do a video just spreading awareness. On top of that, all the revenue that I make in this video will be donated.
And although the stream went off well
Listen
and
to
money
your
was
brother,
raised,
listen to
there
your
was a lot of
brother.
backlash in the
Excellent.
comments.
Hi,
Madame hadn't given any
Nick.
updates
How you
on what was now widely
doing?
accepted as a bogus lawsuit.
Excellent,
and
excellent,
she
my
was the
brother.
person promoting a charity stream. They were rightfully skeptical. Updates were given 3 days later when someone
you
would post
doing?
on God of Wang's behalf. This person said that Wang was doing charity streams and only asked Madame to help because they
Yeah,
were
I'm saving
friends.
the
The reality
file.
is that Madame made the video about the live stream in a bid to make herself look good. After it got backlash, she decided she wasn't going to help with the stream and dropped him as a friend. Madame would then go around and accuse Wang of being
see.
friends with a pedophile. The action that constituted such a horrific label, Wang's friend complimented the kid's character and called it cute. Again, do you see why so many people say that she tried to smear Scrubby? For the record, Wang's stream managed to raise $300 Australian, all of which went to charity. Unlike Madame, he was able to provide a proper paper trail and seems more like a well-intentioned third party that was kind of taken advantage of.
Girl, what the fuck? Girl.
On January 16th, 2020, God of Wang would go into Reptilla's channel for an exclusive interview. As a former close friend of Madame, Wang's insight led to insane revelations about Madame as a person. The public generally saw her as a vindictive, shitty, manipulative doxer. Wang's claims made her look like an utter psychopath. Firstly, Wang discussed the whole situation with charity streams and her scams, revealing that Madame spent $4,000 on a Fendi purse. He also reveals that during 2019, there was another situation where Madame risked a controversy by stealing art like she did with Slimers. Wang's intervention was the only reason she avoided that. But that's not what we're here for. It turns out that all the way back in 2018, Madame had falsely painted one of her ex-boyfriends as a stalker. She then used that as justification to post his phone number and send people to his house, posting a picture of them at his door to her Instagram. She also claimed she'd already filed police reports against him, but according to Black Wolf Company, who checked for police reports in her area, this was not true. Madame's behavior had gone far beyond online drama and credit. She was now endangering people's lives.
Well, I heard from the person in question and the friend of that person that Ash had actually hired people from the dark web to go to, we'll call him X number one, to X number one's house to take photos. Now, that's from what I can see is true. There is Instagram stories from Ash saying, like, with that X number one's house, his phone number,
X number one, X number
his city or
two.
town, and it wasn't even just it wasn't even a photo from like Google, like Earth, which scared them. It had recent Halloween decorations up, which you can't just get off the internet. You kind of got to go to the house to take photos.
Madame also previously vented on Discord about how she was going to the town of another ex-boyfriend to try and kill him. This time she was only talked down from the ledge by her Discord mods. I'm gonna do it. I was debating with myself about it, pretty much doing anything I could to think rationally. At this point, it's not irrational. It's just an uncontrollable urge. My life and his. I'm just gonna do it, LMFAO. I hope the situation gets massive online. Might make some sort of YouTube news. I never even cared about being on the news. I never understood why killers wanted clout for their actions. Lol, kinda gay. But yeah, I'm like, damn, I bet hella people will find out. Okay, bye, rant over. I'll miss you, sorry I can't control it. After Wang's interview, that was pretty much the end of Madame's relevance to the wider public. Of course, she would
girl,
continue
you
to
do
make
you,
videos,
I guess.
first posting commentary and then moving to VR, but at that point, no one really cared. Her channel continued to decay throughout the year, with a massive amount of interest in South Korean culture and media. Some have even said she took the Patreon money so that she could move to South Korea. Her last hurrah was the decimation of her career, when she was terminated in November 2020. In fairness to her, I don't believe this was legitimate, but more just mass flagging her videos, and it only went through because this was COVID times, and YouTube left all their strike reports to bots.
Oh yeah. He's there. Hi,
So, with
Barracks.
us
How
now
you
looking over
doing?
everything,
Welcome,
what can we
welcome.
even make of Madame? Well,
You're
I'd like
doing
to bring you back to the
well.
near beginning of this video, as I went over Madame's early life, her recollections, her unrealistic backstory, the lawsuit against the mental facility.
How you
I still
doing?
don't believe that Madame really did
I
hitchhike and rebuild her
feel
life at
hot.
age 15, but I'm
I
open to
don't want to
believing
feel
that she
hot.
suffered from borderline personality
I
disorder.
hope you don't
It
feel
definitely
hot.
adds to the swings and
Isaac's
moods between
Dorcas.
being
He's
totally
adorable,
unhinged
Dorcas,
and
though.
neurotic to totally silent. But even if she does suffer from
That
that, those who
adorable.
have it at least have their limits. I don't think Madame was particularly born evil, but for me, it's how her chasing for clout and wanting to become her idol completely transformed her, and showed
No, it's
everyone
hot,
that
though.
she shouldn't have got it in the first place. Whilst it's important to acknowledge the origins of how people like this come about,
Right
it does
now,
not
I'm, like,
excuse them of their
30 degrees
responsibility
more.
with their actions. When you leave behind a history of lying, doxing, scamming, threats, and attempts on people's lives, at some point you have to take the blame. No mental illness will make me overlook her endangering the lives of others on numerous occasions. But at least in her endless search for an identity that wasn't being
So you're
just another
cute.
Leafy clone or another woman making videos, she
My
did cement her
bad.
place in
Nah.
history. Her place of
Nah.
being totally overreactive, vindictive, and indeed psychotic. Thank you for watching. Until next time,
Thank you very
stay
much.
safe and stay toasty.
Stay toasty. Thank you. We will stay toasty. I'll roast all of you guys. I'll toast you. Thinking, should I download Tekken 8 or not while playing Baldur's Gate 3 and download Devil May Cry 5? Oh, it's funny how you have such a different, like, genres as well. Like, you know, from RPG to slash and hack to freaking fighting. I mean, you should. Why no? Why no? I freaking know. Or you can re-download the classics. How about that? That's good as well, no? Okay, what we after this gonna watch? What we gonna watch? What we gonna watch? I would like to watch something else. I would like to watch something else, or I'm gonna go crazy. Crazy. Oh, 7 days ago. Nice! Fresh meat. I want some fresh meat here. Is she a beautiful lady? Thank you. Hell's Kitchen fuck-ups are always fun to watch. Hell's Kitchen fuck-ups? Oh, like Hell's Kitchen in general. Hell's Kitchen makes me depressed. I don't... Like, in general, I'm okay, but when I'm in the mood for it, because in general, it makes me depressed, brother. Makes me depressed. I don't know. I'm just looking at all those people. I'm just looking at those situations, and I do understand that most likely, what I'm looking at right now, like the situation I'm looking at right now, most likely the restaurant is not even open anymore. Plenty, hi! Thank you so much for the cheeseburger without cheese. Mwah. You see what I just saw right now? Yeah. What the hell is that? I just saw possible fuck up of mine yet again with render. Ay 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 ay. Ay ay ay, and I don't know how to clean it. Ay 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 ay. Ay ay ay, because the mirroring was on. Ay 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 ay, and I cannot really fix it just like that. Ay 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 ay. Ay ay ay, I'm a little butterfly. 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 Ay ay. Gishi model, nice.
Why you not drinking, huh?
OG,
You
yes,
wanna
OG,
die?
yes, the OG. Thank you, Plenty, for the hydrate. I actually need to hydrate a lot because it's hot right now. Thank you, thank you. Sorry for the non-video thingy, because I in general just noticed a huge thingy here. I need to fix it, or I'm gonna forget about it, and after this I'm gonna be like, oh no, oh no, oh no, you know? Here we go, kinda, right? We fixed it. Okay. Okay, I need to not to forget to turn off my ruler, because sometimes it's actually fucking up the progress by a lot. By a lot. It's always open, Gishi. I have to reserve months before. Wait, what? What always open? What always open? I don't have one favorite genre. I mean, fair. I don't think that I have favorite genre in games either. It depends on the game, you know? Like, you cannot love every Souls game or every hack and slash. Same how I'm not really a fan of Sekiro, but I'm in love with Lies of P, you know? I think this is how it works. Hell's Kitchen place. Ah, no, I was talking about like the restaurants that is in the videos. Yeah. Okay, let's start on another video. How you doing, Plancy?
You can have cheeseburger.
Aw, thank you so much for the cheeseburger without cheese. But yeah, OG model is here
world, it's
just because
easier
I
than ever
opened
for
it and I
artists
was
to
like,
become
wow.
popular online. By
I
chasing
feel
a few trends
nostalgic.
of your best work, you too could have thousands of followers. But with that position comes decisions. Your ability is usually the only thing that
Ruler, where
limits your
the
creativity.
motherfucker at?
And at the end of the day,
Here.
it's important you determine how you present yourself
See?
online.
See this little
Because
line
if
in
you
the middle?
don't, the audience
There it
may
is.
very well do it
There's
for
this
you.
motherfucker.
In early 2024, Pumpkin the Gentleman was one of those artists. His
Pumpkin
simplistic
the
doodles and
Gentleman.
webcomics blew up first on TikTok, then later on Twitter. However, both audiences started suspecting the very person they were following. Pumpkin played in two lanes, vent posts and corny thirst traps. But when questions arose about who exactly was seeing his content, the former clashed with the latter, and this suspicion soon
Is there no
snowballed into
Hornet
intense
today?
scrutinization.
Wait, what's the
During
Hornet?
summer of that year, it was hard to find a more hated artist on the Twitter timeline. So over a year after Pumpkin's strange disappearance, maybe it's worth taking a look back at his career. What did he really do, and what even happened to him?
Who's that? Let's ask who's that at the first place. How are you?
Despite
I
the
feel
skewed
hot.
view
My
we would like
internet
to
is
see of
still a bit
Pumpkin's life,
shaky.
We can make a decent profile from the comics. This 18-year-old bisexual artist, born to a Japanese mother and an African-American father, claims
That's
to hate
the
both
mix.
of them. In a run of
Oh,
tweets,
okay.
Pumpkin recalled that his mother wanted
Okay.
that coveted green card.
Hates
whilst
to
his
hate
dad
both
was
of them,
really
okay.
into Asians and holding down other affairs at the time. One thing led to another, and out popped Pumpkin in Japan. Pumpkin claimed to spend most of his life growing up in the Japanese countryside, before moving to America in his late teens. Along the way was a bleak
To
childhood, which
America.
I'm not really going to get into. Whilst holding a couple jobs down, Pumpkin made what would be the Pumpkin the Gentleman account on TikTok in February 2023. However, the actual origins of it are disputed, for reasons that will become obvious much later. Within a few months, Pumpkin the Gentleman started to get pretty far on TikTok. He would regularly post rant videos about the current topic online, and he would also make flirty videos painting the character and himself as the smooth, horny romancer. The ancient text would probably refer to this as a Tumblr sexy man. There was a part of Pumpkin's character that hit quite well with the audience he was talking to. Maybe it was the principles he stood for. Maybe it was the down-to-earth nature of his relatable comics. Or maybe it was because they thirsted over his character. Either way, Pumpkin built himself a decent audience on TikTok. By late October, he had reached over 250,000 followers. The real big news was that Pumpkin was now expanding beyond just short video platforms. In around late 2023, he would become more active on Twitter and build a viewer base there. And in early 2024, that ride would lead to his most successful period yet. Post after post after post popped off and got tens of thousands of likes. Sometimes it was a funny response to trolls, other times it was these
A little
dramatic
bit
and
not
emotional
liking she,
webcomics.
coughing
From
so
around February to
cough.
April,
You
guaranteed
don't
one of Pumpkin
You don't like Souls-like games, like at all? Have you played Lies of P though? Have you though played Lies of P, my son? Son in Christ! Have you played Lies of P? Have you felt the touch of the god on you? Have you ever dated? Try Lies of Pepe.
Pumpkin's tweets would be
Lies
over
of
everyone's
Pepe.
timeline every week. And for an artist like Pumpkin, this was a perfect path.
Not.
Twitter
You
is one of the most
should, you will
favored
like
platforms
it.
for artists, and he seemed
Trust,
to gain
trust.
their favor. Sometimes his posts were just
Trust,
defending the furry
trust.
community, other
I mean,
times
wasp.
just favorite ships and
Oh.
drawings. Simple
Wait,
was where Pumpkin
you stepped on a
succeeded.
wasp?
After all, almost
What?
everyone can agree that consent is good. But any advice beyond that? Not really a guy. Not only was Pumpkin the Gentleman a popular artist, he interacted with his audience directly, behavior that carried back to his TikTok. On Twitter, Pumpkin would become someone to listen to for his audience. If you had relationship troubles, he'd hear you out and tell you what to do.
Understand for something. Alright then, yes. Fair. Oh,誰 Shadow guy, hi, welcome. 新しい友達ってきた。嬉しいね。Thank you. Internet good. I don't know. I thought it's good. I don't think it's good anymore. Oh my god, it's actually dropping currently. Oh my god, that's actually the irony. But hi, welcome Shadow guy. Welcome. I'm happy you came over. How you doing? Holy shit. Holy shit! My internet right now is 10k! It went from 10k to 900. What the actual fuck? Oh my god. But I still managed to take revenge from the grave. Oh shish! So you have the wasp bite right now? Internet being stinky as hell. Like it stinks the whole room. It stinks of poo. But I hope you're doing well, and I hope you don't feel the stink of this internet of mine, because it stinks as hell. Anal core. Is it that bad? Is it? No, don't. It's... Am I actually looking like a fucking anal core now? Can I make it worse? Like, can I just like ah? Like, can I just suddenly like be like ah? Ah! Can I? Wait. I'm gonna make it bad. I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna actually make it worse. Wait. I'm actually gonna make it worse. Wait. I'm gonna make it worse. Wait. Wait. To make it worse. Where is it? I'm gonna make it worse. Oh my god, what's happening? I'm gonna make it worse. Okay, I'm feeling weird. Not bad. I'm trying to learn Japanese. Oh, nice! How's it going so far? Oh, is this the old model easier on the computer? Nah, not on the internet, not on the computer. I just felt nostalgic. And I was like, fuck it, I wanna have my old model. Fuck it, I wanna be a witch. Gishichi jump scare, dead ass. He's breaking the reality. I'm breaking the reality. Oh, where is it? There's been another glitch. Wait. There's analog glitch and there's digital glitch. What's digital glitch? Ah! It's actually what I'm having right now. Wait, it's actually what I'm having right now. It's actually what I'm having right now. Holy shit. Not bad. I'm learning the Japanese alphabet. Oh, you learning hiragana right now? Did you came close to katakana? I miss it, to be honest. Fair. Sometimes I'm forgetting how actually my first model, like, I made it pretty good. Like, it's actually, like, it's not the first version of my first model, right? But it's actually pretty good. Like, I fixed it to the ways it actually holds up to my new model as well, you know? You stink, by the way. What do you mean you stink? You stink of poo more, and what do you mean? The fuck? The fuck? Can you crawl out of my screen, please? I will crawl out of your screen, Isaac Valentine, yes. My motion sickness, I'm sorry! Yeah, so hiragana? You touched katakana already? How do you feel about katakana? You break reality, then break my face. What? Then hop on and take it, I guess. Hop on and take it, I guess. Just remember that you need to actually, like, you know, let me win. That's a little bit like that you should let me win. That's kind of, if you want to get your face broken, you should let me win. You know? Okay. Yeah, the old model is so nostalgic, right? You can cut my hair as well, by the way, guys. You still can cut my hair. If you miss my old boyish cut hair, you still can do it on this model, by the way. So if you want it, you can do it. When I saw katakana, I had a mini heart attack. Yeah, katakana is a bitch. I'm still messing with it. Even having N2, I'm still... Oh my god, katakana is a bitch. It's worse than kanji. Kanji is my besties. Katakana is my most hated enemy. I swear to god, because... to understand sometimes what Japanese meant by katakain some things, it's... that's the struggle. That's the actual struggle. That's the struggle. Okay, I'm gonna make myself smaller. Can be even smaller. Pansy white. Fancy boy. So, how's hanging? Doing well? How you doing? Hi! Hello! Hello! It works. It is working, yeah. But I don't know if I can go back, by the way. Ow! I don't know if I can go back, by the way, since I don't have my numpad! I don't know if I can go back! Guys! 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 What did it say if it still was compatible? It is compatible, but I cannot go back here. Panzer shot? I don't give you that. I don't have a panzer shot. I still want to be on Twitch, you know? Be my teacher and teach me Japanese. It would be nice. I was actually planning to do something like language lessons on this channel when I just debuted, but you know, I don't know how to do a program for this. You know, I'm not a teacher. So, can you bring me back? Bring me back to wake me up inside. Na 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 na, save me. Na 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 na. Why my internet went bad when I started singing? Okay. That was just mean. That was just mean. Oh, yeah. Gishi, what the fuck happened? What happened? I don't know, guys. I don't see your POV. You know, I don't see your POV. What is happening? Puking. What is happening? What is happening? Just tell me. This has certainly given me fun screenshots at least. What is happening? И это знаем, блядь. Ну почему я? Ну почему я, блядь? Ну почему? Почему он, а не я? Почему я, а не он? Блядь. Уебите меня лопатой, пожалуйста. Я так заебалась, блядь. Мне еще 10 дней как минимум ждать, чтобы нахуй съебать обратно к нормальному интернету. 10, сука, дней. 10 days. The gray screen with you and your drawing outline. Beautiful. Beautiful. Daza, hi! I have my old model, so the good end ended up not fully working, but hi. How you doing? How you doing, Daza? Are you doing well? Are you doing good? How are you? How are you? How was your everything? Everything and anything all of the time. How was your everything? I hope you've been doing well. I'm gonna refound you. Don't worry. Right now, like actually right now, I'm gonna refound you. How? Ah! For what? I'm already struggling here. I'm already struggling and you're doing this. You're doing this. Bleh, I'm here. My brother. My everything is okay. I'm happy that your everything is okay. And as you can see, I'm kind of dying here. With work as an anime opening. Shizukani, na 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 na. I'm just tired. What happened? Tell us what happened. We're listening. I'm listening to the full ears, even though, like, you know, I'm kind of upside down. But I'm listening. I promise, I'm listening. Pimp? I don't know. Someone wants to be my pimp, apparently. I don't want to get pimped out. If anything, I can pimp out myself. Is it a gift stream if you're not dying? Probably not, so I guess kind of like on brand. Ай! Стопей, привет! I do know Russian and Turkish. Oh, nice! Здравствуй тогда, здравствуй! Приятно познакомиться, Shadow Guy. Pimp out Daisaka? I don't wanna pimp out Daisaka. I'm not gonna pimp out Daisaka. I don't wanna. have been voted. I suck. Why should I be voted? I suck. Why? I'm so jealous for that shit. Дорогие Гиши, как дела? Здорово! Неплохо! 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 Хуёво! Да, хуёво. Your Russian is so good. Thank you! Because it's my mother language. Thank you! Thank you! There's a market, haven't seen the one who keeps asking about it for a while. I'm not gonna pimp out, I suck at! I'm not pimping out, I suck at Valentine! О, хорошо, хорошо. Хап. Ты жалуешься, ты, блин, ходишь, пушистых потоек, крушуешь, я, блин, работаю. Я не пимпую никого! Oh yeah, try the new Switch clip function. Oh yeah! Switch! Clip that. Did it work? Switch! Clip that! Switch! Clip that! Switch! Clip that! Switch! Clip that. Switch. Clip that, motherfucker. That. Switch. Give me money. Will it work? Did it work? Can anyone see? Let me see. It is not working. Switch clip that. Switch clip that. Switch clip that. Twitch clip that. Twitch clip that. Twitch clip that. Okay, I hope it's working. I guess. I don't know if it's working. If you didn't know, they created the update. V-Bucks into your account, nice. Twitch got the update when you say Twitch clipped out. They're apparently clipping it actually. I don't know. Oh, clip that. Clip create. I have like new notification. Clip created from your stream using the clip that voice command. It actually clipped something. But did it clip like only once? I don't see that clip even being here. Liar. Liar. Fucking liar. Fucking liar! I think the accent on the player entered that is messing up the command can be... Imagine you just have a bunch of clips. I don't want to delete all of that shit. Twitch works stinky. I mean, to be fair, I have a really bad internet connection currently, so I won't be blaming Twitch right now. As much as I want to blame Twitch on everything literally, here, kinda cannot really. Notification should appear on your activity. Yeah, it is clip, but in clips I don't see it. I mean, maybe it can send you Hawk Toi meme coin after it crashed. I mean, something that will be nice. I will create Hakwa coin. It mimics Hakwa. Haktoa. Yes. We should continue on my daughter, right? I just realized, look at how my daughter pretty much like... Her face looks like my face, kinda. I mean, logically, she's fucking my daughter, you know, so like, logically, but you know. She's my baby! Look, like daughter, like mother, like daughter, you know, this type shit. My eyes switching. Huh? Proud mother. I'm proud mother, wait. Geeky family pic. Yeah, geeky family pic here. Me and my daughter. Family tree expanding, yes. That girl who went viral out nowhere, speedrun internet fame. I want the same. Can I just say like random shit on a random interview and be popular as her? Can it be like that? I want to be like that. I want to be like her. I want to be her. Fuck it. I want to be a witch. Sorry, I just remembered that meme today for some reason. I don't know. That's the day of that meme. Okay! Let's continue on the video and let's continue on working on my daughter. Shall we? Sorry, I've been like reminiscent of my old model. Like, I don't know. I feel so nostalgic with my old model, right? Do you feel nostalgic? I feel quite nostalgic. Wait, I just realized, is my daughter as pale as me? Oh shit. Oh shit, no vitamin D. Oh no. Oh no, no vitamin D. Oh no. I think she's less paler than me, thankfully. Thankfully. Okay, let's continue on the video watching, shall we?
Gishi, you can have cheeseburger.
Ah, thank you so much for the
Pumpkin,
cheeseburger
Tumblr
without
sexy
chims.
man became a figure of adoration for some online. Yet
Overdosing
Pumpkin
on
hadn't
nostalgia,
left
yeah.
TikTok behind.
Chimsburger.
And his surge of popularity on Twitter brought
Just Daza is saying that's a nice AI drawing you made. Daza. I'm gonna open your account. Account following since November 30th of 2025. Daza. I think you know better. I think you know better by now. I think you value your family better by now. I thought that you know better. But apparently, I raised you not well. That's it. We need to talk. You know, there are certain times when parents need to talk to their children about hard stuff. I think it's a yes. What yes? What yes? The vitamin D definitely is genetic today. Genetic, sadly. I recognize this, the channel's voice. Oh, really? It's Toast. Maybe you saw him. Do I? Do you understand? Do you? Family? Never heard of them. I see how it is. I see. I'm gonna send you to the freaking chapel. I'm gonna send you to Chapel Ron. That's it. I don't know better, and I've been here for 2 years, almost 3 years. Plancy, it's kind of getting close to the 3-year mark, and you still don't know better, guys. You know what?
back some previously buried skeletons that the new audience wasn't aware of. Back in July of 2023, one TikTok trend going around was videos of the Russian Terminator, a hunky instructor from the Russian army. His build attracted the adoration of plenty of women and men, as Pumpkin posted some fan art of him. However, this was quickly backpedaled after other users informed him that the instructor in the Russian army, surprise, does actually support the current war that Russia is waging.
Don't support it. I don't support it. I don't support it. My grandpa was Ukrainian. My grandpa that I love dearly until this day because he was my fucking father-like figure, was Ukrainian. Do not support that shit. Okay, okay. 3 years. I've been here since this month. 2 years ago. Yeah, kind of close to 3 years. So yeah, this is my day 1 mark. Happy Monday! Happy Monday! Never mind. 1 month ago. I mean, you can do like the follow age. Is this the command? You can do the command to see how much you're following me for, I think.
Own up to his actions in January 2024, when word went around that he drew fan art of a terrorist.
Can you say that while in Russia?
Topic stuff, Pumpkin's character
easy.
was also criticized. On occasion,
Fancy. That's silly. Of course I can. First of all, it's not like we would demolish Ukrainian people here. It's not like that. It's not like that. Just gotta say that. And yet again, We're not demolishing nationality here. I've been born and raised here as well. My nationality is Russian. If someone were to hunt me in my own country just because I'm half Ukrainian, that would be fucking something. And I wouldn't be here just because, like, you know, I would be like fucking against that. But thankfully, this is not what's happening here. Thankfully. So don't worry, I'm completely okay. I'm completely okay with saying that. Oh, that's almost 1 year. Almost 1 year. Okay, Plancy, not close to 3 years apparently. Not close. Okay. But still, you should know better!
Drawings were pretty damn suggestive, and although his account was now 16+, he made no effort in keeping that separate from anything else. Even worse was the NSFW Twitter, which predates the main Twitter and had no restrictions until someone called it out. Even when his main Twitter popped up, the content on there was sometimes hard to even rate as 16+. This led a sizable number of people on TikTok to think that Pumpkin was some sort of creep. The design of the account, the parasocial dad character that Pumpkin played, it was giving off some strange feelings, which for TikTok users basically means get the wood chipper.
But bro, don't ever call me a fucking pedophile, bro.
It's his voice?
Don't ever call
Why
me a pedophile.
Why you do his voice like that?
The meme AI voice
I'm just
filter for this
paranoid. Nah,
section
don't
or-
worry.
When Pumpkin moved to Twitter, he
Don't
decided
you
to
worry.
randomly let a 17-year-old friend who was a few days away from turning 18 into his NSFW account. This is kind of stupid to do, but not indicative of any sort of pedophilia. Both of these people were very close in age. Yet, off the back of this, a lot of the rumors that followed were either entirely false or not supported by proof. Someone claimed that Pumpkin uploaded a bulge picture to his 16+ account.
Bulge?
This is just straight up a lie, as the screenshot provided shows it was leaked from the 18+ NSFW account, which was now age restricted, and any minor who wanted to
Bulge?
get in would have had to lie. Other users claim that Pumpkin liked an NSFW post from a 13-year-old, or that he had messaged a 14-year-old. To this day, neither claim has any proof. Yet the loose barriers around Pumpkin's accounts would continue to haunt him. As he said,
Wow! My daughter! Wow! My daughter! Welcome! How you doing, daughter? How you doing, Uma? How you doing? Uma, I'm getting suspiciously close to finishing fully the first outfit, and your hair, your fluffy cute ears, and basically the base. I'm suspiciously close to that. Of course, like, this is for the model to work, so this is... I cannot do the cute preview. This is for the model to exist. I'm so excited. I'm happy that you're excited. I'm excited as well to finally do the second outfit as well. So yeah, how you doing though? How you doing? Oh, look. There's insights to your ear now. There's inside. You can look inside of your ear. Look. It's pink ear inside. It's not the UK where you get arrested for having an opinion. No, in Russian it's the same. Like, you can get arrested for having certain opinions here and there, blah, blah, blah. But, guys, by just saying on my stream, especially in English, that I am a half Ukrainian because, you know, my grandpa was Ukrainian, I'm not gonna get demolished in the country that I was born and raised, so I'm Russian citizen. So, don't you worry, we're not living in a regime as might be sounded on the internet, I guess. I don't know. So don't you worry about me when I'm saying that. Don't worry. So yeah, Uma, I'm getting close in the first step. I'm happy. There's more in there. More in there. Created a social media account many years ago when I was a child. I checked back on it months ago after not touching the platform for years and saw a random woman following me. Her account was full of crypto and finance bro content. Ah, same. I'm getting it like on the Insta sometimes. I mean, to be fair, my Insta is closed, so I'm not really getting anything random in there since it's, you know, closed. But yeah, on TikTok and stuff, sometimes I'm getting like, you know, accounts that, you know how you can see like who watched your profile, and I guess like it's their strategy. They're gonna watch your profile and their profile name is like something like click in the bio, link in the bio, something like blah blah blah. So yeah, getting that as well.
pedo vibes, or that I seem I would be into kids.
The
I get
earlier part. I
allegations,
don't know
but
about the
never
earlier
make one
part.
that revolves
But yeah,
children,
trust me,
unless you have
I'm controlling
solid
myself,
proof.
trust me.
But if not, don't go on based simply on opinions. I do not deserve to be accused of that. On May 27th, 2024,
Basically, don't worry
fellow
about me,
Twitter
guys.
artist
Don't worry.
Fallen Chungus posted a final
Chungus?
note to Twitter.
Big
This came from an
Chungus?
argument with former friends after weeks of allegations that he had been a chaser. The following argument resulted in one of the people he fought with disappearing off the platform. Their partner was outraged that Fallen Chungus had been so vindictive towards them. Pumpkin had known Fallen Chungus ever since he first popped up on Twitter, before his comics propelled him into his own internet fame. However, in response to Fallen Chungus' note, Pumpkin said, "Chungus, you've worked this hard to reach this far. And this is how
Chungus?
you
Sometimes
plan to
people think
die?
I'm German or
This is how you
Russian.
plan to be remembered by?
How
really?
so?
That's pathetic as shit, man." Whilst the reply
Wait.
had good intentions, Pumpkin's wording made it feel like the mandatory life-saving scene in a PG-13 movie. Calling someone pathetic to uplift them on their supposed final moments doesn't actually work in real life. Plus, the fact that Fallen Chungus wasn't some innocent soul in this drama didn't help much either. This reply would get some heat, causing Pumpkin to respond and explain what he meant by it. He would later try to shift the discussion to what was important right now, whilst also claiming he'd been much nicer in their DMs. When someone mentioned Fallen Chungus' autism in the conversation, another person replied saying that
I
autism
freaking love
wasn't an
Nutcracker.
excuse, and this was infantilizing autistic people. Pumpkin
This was one
replied
of my
basically saying,
hyperfixations
"Not
growing
place
up.
or time," which caused this user to bring up Pumpkin's initial reply.
Ah,
This
your accent. Don't mind me asking, like, if you don't mind me asking, what's your accent sounds like? Like, is it common from because your mother language is different, or is it just like American accent? Because I know that there's a lot of accents, so
This argument
English,
carried on that bled through into a
American.
new
I don't know.
situation, with the crosshairs now far more firmly on Pumpkin the Gentleman. New threads about him were popping up on the timeline, bringing up these old or already debunked rumors. Pumpkin even posted saying these threads were fine as long as they didn't take things out of context. However, one resurfaced tweet was different. It came from the month before and showed one of Pumpkin's fans asking to be rizzed by the pumpkin. Another person, a 16-year-old, replied saying, "I want to be rizzed by the pumpkin too."
Have people
To which
using
Pumpkin
outings
replied,
against them?
"When you're older,
Ah.
This obviously painted a picture of, again, Pumpkin being fairly weird around his fans. The "when you're older" line was evocative
You're
of
asking
grooming
me?
tactics. Pumpkin defended himself by saying the comment was just
I
a
don't
joke
know why
with a
people being
mutual
so
who was a
freaking
couple
weird
years
in
younger
general
than
in
him.
this
When
life.
asked
I
why
swear
he
to God,
brought
it's
up
so
the
easy to be
tweet, the
normal
original poster,
in
Colin,
terms
just
of, like, you know,
replied
not being
saying,
fucking
"Funny.
creep.
Pedophilia is not fucking funny, mate. Be better." Whilst the tweet is funny, it's again
Mate.
nothing concrete. More cringe than criminal, if I'm being honest. The 16-year-old even responded to this after people started asking. "We already talked about this. You were joking, and after people started to call you a groomer, you deleted the thing and you asked me if I was comfortable with it. Me and the pumpkin
Turkish
are
or
close
like
friends,
Middle
so
Eastern?
please calling him out for that. It's so
Now I can
stupid.
get why
So
everyone is like
please,
messing it
instead
with.
of picking some silly
with
jokes
one.
and use it to make someone look
I
bad,
see, I see, I
shut the
see.
hell up and actually educate yourself about actual grooming. Because it's annoying that two friends with 2 years, almost 1 year of difference, can't make a joke because one of them has to fear the fact that he's going to be called out as a groomer. Pumpkin helped me through so many stuff, and I would never accept that people call him out for this. Whilst the original tweet was posted just for laughs, others were again
For
connecting
laughs?
dots and took it as
Falafel?
a serious issue.
For
One mutual
laughing?
friend who was 17 drew some suggestive jokey art
You
of
see
them and
internet
Pumpkin
being
together,
stinky
to
again.
which people immediately jumped to call Pumpkin a pedophile, encouraging this minor
I'm
to
gonna be
draw
like that
NSFW.
meme, Ash Baby
As
meme.
with so many controversies on Twitter, the claims become bigger and bigger until it's just not true. In early June, Pumpkin's Twitter account would hit over 100,000 followers, whilst the TikTok was fast approaching 500,000. Yet, even here, the success and freakouts only attracted more and more scrutiny. On June 17th, Pumpkin made a Venn comic responding to his haters, which is never a good move. The entire thing is just saying that he wanted to do what they were saying, whilst also listing methods and being psychotically ready to do it.
Excuse
Who was
me?
this for? What
What?
would this achieve? I don't
Excuse
really
me,
know.
what?
It seems Pumpkin's idea was to make his haters uncomfortable, as he epically
Excuse me,
owns them by
what?
venting his mental health. Times like
Excuse me,
this, you should
what?
really do like a diary, instead of posting to your entire social following. And it would backfire immediately, because the next thing Pumpkin posted got him into even more hot water. Only a
Enough
few
fucking
minutes
shit,
after this
excuse me,
first
what?
Venn post, Pumpkin posted another comic about his life. In this relatable everyday scenario, one of Pumpkin's friends writes the name of a new lover. Pumpkin then calmly rebukes her for it and tries to tell her why it's wrong. This comic immediately got backlash, mostly because of the idea of sharing this girl's experience without her knowledge. Pumpkin responded saying they just wanted to draw this because they felt it was a common experience, and the friend in question didn't really care about privacy. Despite the numerous
This
attempts to
people
address this drama
haven't
once and
eaten
for all,
falafel in a while. I
Pumpkin
never
had
ate
done
it
too
for
much for this to go away easily by giving so much
I never ate it falafel. How does it taste like? Does it just actually taste like a vegan shawarma, or is there more to it? Is there more to the things that I never tried? I want to try. I want to see where the people are. I want to see them singing, dancing.
attention to these claims, you're only making more people see them. And by giving so much attention to the haters, you're only telling them that whatever they're doing is working. As Pumpkin started to get more notoriety, questions began popping up about whether this was really who they say they were. For example, Pumpkin was very proud to be half Japanese. They spoke Japanese on the timeline, made videos trying to teach it,
kind of
and
fair.
said they were born and grew up in Japan. Yet people suspected this because of
Your
many
passport is
reasons,
pretty
like
strong.
the quality of Pumpkin's writing. Now, as a guy who has never stepped foot in Japan, I can't really give a judgment on this. When people questioned these stories, he said, "Also, I know I'm about to sound corny as hell."
I just want the, for like now, a little bit of quiet, guys. A moment of quiet, because Shadow Guy says really sad things right now. That they never ate shawarma before in their life. My brother in Christ, how come? How come you never ate the beautiful creation of shawarma? Who made you? Who made you sad? Who made you sad? How it happened? How? My brother in Christ, how? But shawarma. But shawarma. How? Try to do so made by a good chef, because it's easy to ruin the taste. I don't know where to even have it, to be fair. I believe we have it like in St. Petersburg, maybe, like a lot of those. But I don't know, I never saw it in the wild here. We feel bad, but I don't think I have touched shawarma before. No, Isaka touched it. Could say the same about Yuna eating falafel. Okay, fair, but Isaka actually ate it, even in Russia. I actually fed him up shawarma, one of the best shawarmas. No.
But it's hella funny seeing people say, "This dude been through too many situations, he making this up." Knowing damn well that ain't even half of it. I was never around normal people, let alone a normal country. Whilst Pumpkin owns his heritage and the hot 40-year-old Japanese women he's apparently going out with, he doesn't have a lot of good things to say about the country itself. A lot of his posts about Japan focus on its negatives more than positives. You know, mandatory shutters on the phones, runaways, pedos, and tourists. Not those kind of tourists, those kind of tourists. You know, the ones who are going east. Pumpkin claimed that he stayed in Japan until his mid-teens, and still goes back to visit Japan a month or so every year. Now, again,
you never
I can't
ate?
attest to whether Pumpkin's Japanese is
Never ate
patchy,
shawarma?
but as someone who speaks English, it's interesting that for someone who spent their most formative years in Japan, their English is pretty good. For non-English speakers, English is a hard language to learn, just due to the number of linguistic exceptions, spelling, and weird grammar. So Pumpkin could learn English flawlessly in a couple years, but couldn't write Japanese well after like 15 years. This is a country he still goes to, by the way. It's also interesting that for someone who stayed in Japan for so long, Pumpkin's cultural values and what was normalized to him is so easily corrected. For example, during the many waves of drama, a lot of Pumpkin's old tweets
You
would
never
come
ate
up,
shawarma,
because
bless
apparently
you,
Lolly is
holy
like
shit.
state mandated to come with artist drama.
No.
This mainly revolved around an old tweet from December 2023, where Pumpkin was making the 1,000-year-old character argument. Pumpkin addressed this by saying this came from his upbringing in Japan, and the normalization of lolly-related stuff. As he grew up, he learned to avoid this more and more. Immediately after the original tweet, Pumpkin concedes and understands as soon as someone else points out the issues with it. Yet, would someone from Japan who has this normalized for them not stand their ground more? Or in contrast, would someone who was born in the Japanese countryside really become normalized to lolly
Head
stuff?
was good. Was
Pumpkin
wondering
later
if there
admits
was
his
a spicy
Japanese
option.
sucks, despite having spent most
For
of his
sure
life in
there is a
Japan.
spicy
I guess just
options.
taking tons of
Don't know
English
about
classes
that
corrects
place
out of
exactly,
you.
but
Not
yeah.
even any tangible
For
accent
sure.
as far as we know. You know, the typing style is more like African American vernacular English than like any sort of Japanese accent. I'm not saying that accents will come through text, but wouldn't behaviors come through? Again, I'd love to hear from people who are Japanese in the comments, or people who study languages, linguists, you know, because I'm no expert on Japanese or Japan, and I don't pretend to be. Nor am I an expert on Spanish or Thai, languages that Pumpkin also claimed to speak.
Oh. Bleh.
On July 16th, Pumpkin redefined the boundaries of his current 16+ main Twitter account. What was already a loose and sometimes contradictory set of guidelines became actually set in stone, and the very next drawing that Pumpkin would make under these new guidelines would destroy his entire career. 2 days later, on July 18th, Pumpkin responded to a viral tweet asking artists to draw their characters in a sexual Kuromi fit. The image was the most excessively sexual quote-unquote 16+ drawing anyone had ever seen. Immediately, the drawing got backlash. PSA posts like those from @OhTheSunnySide listed how the drawing was obviously 18+.
Does many people in Japan look like what Westerns would think are kids? No, at least I don't know. For me, I do understand the age pretty well by looking at the person. Especially, I don't know. I don't have the problem with how, like, you know, how it's always like, oh, Asians don't look at their age, blah blah blah. I don't know. I have a pretty clear depiction of the age usually. Vera! Oh, long time no see. How you doing, Vera? How you doing? Hi. So I'm pretty easily depicting people's age. So I don't know about others. I don't know about others. I know that there's the stigma about it, but I don't know. Now my internet being stinky. Nah, it's still my internet being stinky. Don't worry. How are you? Hi, How you doing, Vera? How you doing? I'm currently with my old model. How you doing? I came back 1 week ago from my long vacation at the Philippines. I want to go back. I want to go back, Vera. And guess what? I got sick on my vacation. I actually got sick again. I'm doing well. I'm happy that you're doing well. How have you been? How have you been for this 1 month? How have you been? It's even worse in the Southeast Asia because our girlies are 4'10". Yeah, it can be a little bit misleading because of the hate again. But yet again, Asians are Asian still. Like, I don't know who like created like this Asians don't age. I mean, age differently for sure, but you know how if you know how Asians are aged, you're gonna see the age of the Asian I feel racist just because I'm just saying like the race name a lot. I don't know, but basically you will depict the age just because you know how certain races are aging usually. You're in the Philippines? Yes, I've been in the Philippines. You got sick again? Yes, I got sick again after not even 1 month of being sick before that. I have been on work trip since end of the June. Oh, how was it? I will be home sometime end of the stream. Ah, end of the month. Oh, I see. Is it going well so far? PH arc the best. Yes, PH arc says the best. My PH trips are the best. One after another is better than the last ones. But yeah, at least I was not as sick as I was at the previous trip. Yes. And can I confirm my Asians age differently because of how our bone structure are? How the fat in our face deposit in our lifestyle diet. Yeah, but you always, not always, but usually can still depict the age of the person still. Again, when you know how the certain ages are aging, you can depict it. Like, yeah, aging differently for sure. Like certain parts of the faces are not going down, or certain wrinkles are not appearing to the latest periods and stuff. But usually, for example, the neck is still the first depictable noticeable thing. Like the neck is one of the first things that's gonna age. Will it be Asian person or like white person? Doesn't matter. Still, you can see by the neck kind of the age because this is the most stretchable skin part. And of course, the older you get, the less your skin's gonna stretch, and the more loose skin you're gonna have there, and the more rings kind of things you're gonna have there. You know. Sorta, I look early 20s, but I'm not. I still, for a lot of people, look. Quote last year quote from our Polish friend Ranko. I still look 12. I'm not even 20 anymore. And I'm not Asian. I'm not Asian. So that's just, I don't think it's race at this point. I think it's because we're VTubers. We're marinating ourselves. We're marinating in the juices of our PC dust. I think I'm more confused since Lolita fashion ain't common here, which is sad. Oh wait, what are we talking about? Would that mean Lolitas might be seen as more adult in that part of the world? Oh no, wait, Lolita? Like Lolita fashion or lolis you're talking about? A collagen plus skincare, the face and the neck are the same skin, so taking care of both with the same products is important. True, and SPF, right? SPF for life. My sister looks like she's just got to high school, but she's well over. That's a good genes. Your mama have a good genes, or your papa. Can confirm Gishi looks young. I'm not well versed with it. Fair. My tummy is rumbling. Guys, my tummy is rumbling. I don't know why though. I just ate before the stream. Oh man, just trying to figure out how it works. Also amazing lighting. Thank you. Twitch, clip that. Twitch, clip that. Twitch, clip that. That Dojo-sama laugh. Why not? I wonder if it worked. Did it work? Twitch, clip that. Twitch, clip that. Twitch, clip that. Twitch, clip that. Twitch, clippity, bibbity, bobbity. Did it work? I don't know. I don't know. We hope it did. We hope it did. Oh, it feels so hot. Holy shit. Let me open my window a little bit widely. My mom's side has good genes. Noon looks their age. My eldest grade aunt is in their 19s. She looks like in her 80s. Only way you know is that she needs Walker and a lot of help. Holy shit! Good job! That's a strong bloodline right there. Yeah, strong bloodline is good. Strong children, good demography, all that good stuff. We respect that. Twitch clip that has a 30 to 40 second delay, and not everyone has it yet, I think. I have it. It actually worked like a couple of minutes ago. I have it. Yeah. But that's impressive. Yes, that's impressive. Holy shit. I want to have a good genes, but I'm not. I mean, I certainly do have good genes, but none of my family members, to be fair, knows where it came from. Like, for example, me looking like still kind of like a child, kind of like a teenager. None of my family members know where the fuck it's coming from. Maybe I'm the starter. I'm the starter pack. I don't know. I'm the mutation. To be fair, again, I'm one of the biggest mental health problems and health problems in general in my family line. So I don't know. Considering that my mom birthed me pretty early, my mimic mama kinda did everything as she's supposed to do. She even quit smoking at the time. Still didn't really work out. Still, I am a weakest mimic in the line. I cannot even become human, as you might know. So I don't know. Oh, Twitch clip that has actually worked 2 minutes ago. Oh, nice. My grandmother passed away at 96 or 97, 6 or 7. Sorry, but only because she had a lung cancer. Otherwise, she would have probably lived until over 100. For sure. Like cancer is such a bitch. Like, most of the people I even think, like, there's so little people that dies from like just age, in my opinion, because in certain still ways, cancer, what is it? cancer development is still there. Same with sadly with my grandpapa. Like, it was not from the age, but like one of the cancer. We still don't know what it was. It was an autopsy. Shitty. But let's talk about how we're gonna live happy and long, right? Right. Okay.
And Pumpkin's current ratings for his account were bad. Pumpkin responded not understanding that sexual jokes and interactions are still 16 plus,
you know,
and not
I'm
even knowing what an innuendo was. Sonny continued to lay out the do's and don'ts, and for a bit it seemed like this too would just be another stepping stone to change. However, a vocal minority weren't so open or lenient. A mutual of Pumpkin's named Tusty Art was one of the first people to really speak out about this, saying, "Sorry, Oomph, I'm starting with the haters now. 16 plus account posting giant bulges in a thong. Unfollow maybe." And he's doubling down on posting softcore on main. Then they tweeted, "This guy isn't sorry by the way. I DM'd him explanation before he doubled down like this and blocked me. This guy. He doesn't care unless you hold him accountable. Muting the subject now, just don't accept his apology, I don't care." The DMs attached read, "Hey, I want to tell you personally that what you're doing is not okay, and if you need me to explain why to you, I will. I think you know very well what you are doing. Your Sona is a representation of yourself. If you post content on it where children can directly interact with you, that is a problem. You're allowing that, you have an alt. This isn't like a comic or a movie where teens aren't interacting with an adult directly. You're acting extremely weird online. This probably won't end well for you if you keep it up." Pumpkin responded by going at Toasty for cropping out that they'd been the one to block Pumpkin, then lied about being blocked over this. However, this led to another conversation where Pumpkin tried to justify the idea of what he had done.
Eskimos didn't even have a word for cancer. Oh, maybe because of their diet.
Vaguely explaining, saying it's just not meant for children without further explanation, or just outright calling me a pedo. If it was DMs, I don't check those often. I don't see all comments either, but I will admit, at certain times I was stubborn and didn't listen due to certain stuff. But now I'm aware and accepted that some of the stuff I post isn't for 16 plus, I deleted those, and will tone it down here. I understand that, but as someone who frequently interacts with Western culture and media, you'd think you would know that 16 and up meant age. Age if what kind of content they can consume, yes. I did go by the content rules and categories that were provided by the classification safe viewing from the internet, such as Western movies and games and media, but it was worded wrong, I believe after Sonny educated me. Like, what do you mean you thought it was appropriate that there was a chance of someone 16 seeing your bulge? Because to me, it was just an anatomy body part. And then Pumpkin said, "In addition, clothing and scening were heavily normalized for young teens to consume, age 11 to 13. This tweet was quickly deleted, but within a couple hours it started doing the rounds on social media. The backlash from both the Kuromi post and this tweet in particular would be bigger than any other wave of hate before. Not only was it a terrible idea to up those standards and post this to a 16 plus audience, but it prompted people to compile older instances. With the volume of similar posts and rumors and chance after chance, they saw the writing on the wall. If Pumpkin had promised to change again and again, that change was barely visible to them. Within hours, a lot of people began thinking that these posts were intentional, and Pumpkin would only concede when pushed back on. Pumpkin acted quickly, apologizing to Tusty Art for ignoring their words, and posting a full retraction on Twitter. "I am sorry. I apologize for making and posting inappropriate to inform me beforehand about my actions regarding my content and age rating. I failed to realize how much damage I've caused my audience. It was never my intention to bring harm to anyone. I was wrong. Moving forward, I'll tone it down now that I'm aware and have a full understanding of what 16 plus content is. In addition to that,
the entity is not really following what he's doing, you know, Pumpkin. Something sweet, something nice.
I also would like to apologize to Tusty Art. Though we had a heated moment, what he said to me in those DMs wasn't wrong. It was wrong for him to be chased off the internet, and it was incredibly wrong to bully and torment him about his mental illnesses. He in no circumstances deserved that. Tusty Art, I'm deeply sorry. I wasn't aware of your mental health issues, nor your struggles. I didn't know the damage it would cause, and by no means did I mean for harm to come your way.
It's fake continuous. No, I just don't know. Maybe I'm more hungry than usual.
Why I thought a suggested drawing I drew was okay for a 16 plus audience to see, after I had deleted a heavily suggestive drawing along with others that were inappropriate. I was answering their question, explaining the difference with Japanese media and age viewing, and that due to
then go on Japanese media, dude.
Certain things were okay, and that compared to what I grew up with, my content was more tame. This was not meant to justify or excuse my behavior, but simply as answering their question. After I posted it, however, I realized there was no point in explaining.
Then do content in Japanese.
My actions, so I deleted it 2 minutes after I tweeted, as shown in the screenshot. I understand if you no longer support me. I understand if you wish to not associate with me. I understand your frustrations and anger. Your criticisms towards me, my behaviors and actions are valid. I'm going to take a break. Not to run away and hide from my consequences, but to recollect my thoughts and reflect. When I do come back, I will prove and show that I've changed. Pumpkin would then start to panic and freak out, not knowing what on earth to do. Eventually, he would set his account to private and take a break for the foreseeable future. Videos he had made on TikTok to clear up certain claims were mass flagged into oblivion. In the wake of this incident and the silence, Pumpkin would become a laughingstock on Twitter and TikTok. Make fun of Pumpkin's corny comics, and that they did. Certain phrases from his Tumblr sexy man character were now interpreted as cringe or sleazy freak behavior. Comics like, "You're when I put on my dad fit," or
"You okay? Why are you so pissed?"
became spammable copy-pastes.
Hairy little IG. Shit, I look good.
Others opted to start drawing Pumpkin's character as the pedo bear or doing a ukulele apology. Then there were others who took the time to up the ante with new claims. Some of them said Pumpkin was faking his race and that he wasn't even black at all. Others made fake screenshots of Pumpkin saying disgusting stuff. Past situations now had their context sapped away and reintroduced into the algorithms. Infamously bad commentary YouTuber Lewis McClung would make a video on Pumpkin pushing the idea that he was a pedophile. The video opens with a bunch of gross TikToks that Pumpkin didn't even post. It also spread misinformation, like saying Pumpkin posted a bulge picture to 16-year-olds when that's just a lie. Lewis also supports a claim that Pumpkin knowingly made sexual comments to minors on TikTok, even though there was no proof these people were minors. They didn't have any age in their bio. Lewis even went out of his way to platform a baseless allegation of Pumpkin messaging a 12-year-old, without any proof to suggest the DMs were even real. Truly impressive that someone could make a video on Pumpkin and manage to get most of the actual details wrong. Videos like this only serve to push the rumor mill even further. After a month out of the field, Pumpkin the Gentleman finally returned, with a 2-part video addressing every single claim. The video takes its time laying out the claims, debunking where possible and apologizing where necessary. It's what you want from a video like this, except the public weren't too keen to take it on. Pumpkin's silence as a private account had spoken first, and his reputation had already been torched. Unfortunately, that's the one thing Pumpkin didn't address in the video. The lack of overview or acknowledging how it all looks on a wider scale is a fatal flaw. Pumpkin is not a pedophile, but clearly had some issues playing loosely with boundaries. To the audience, what would make this apology and promise to change any different from the last? That's the importance of an overview. By acknowledging patterns overall, you show that you know what they're thinking, you know there is a repeating issue, and you're proposing a long-term fix to get to the root of the issue, rather than a short-term one. Despite the self-vindication and even embracing the meme a little, Pumpkin the Gentleman's career was severely damaged. The public outcry was the worst it had ever been back in July, and some would say for good reason. Pumpkin's reputation preceded him, and his TikTok would never recover from its peak of over 500,000. The wave of comics Pumpkin had come in as a part of were now viewed as lame, predictable Twitter art. Still, Pumpkin did have a core community left over, including those who gradually came around to support him after his response. It's still possible he could have moved past what happened and made a lasting fanbase out of this. But despite the final, last response to everyone, Pumpkin still continued to tempt fate. There were still people questioning his skin color and whether he was really half black. And when Pumpkin would hit out, he would post cropped images of his body put onto his character. This only tempted people to pick it apart as best they could. In mid-October, a girl came out on TikTok claiming they dated Pumpkin and later changed their bio to 16 to implicate Pumpkin directly. This whole claim didn't have any evidence and caused Pumpkin to end up in the ER. In the following months, there was some good and some bad.
That is just
Someone else
shitty.
accused
Okay, that is
Pumpkin
just
of copying
shitty.
their face and using it as his persona, another claim that wasn't strong. But in positive news, people outside of Twitter were starting to look over Pumpkin's case. Goat Kato, a somewhat known figure within the animation meme community, started to work on streams and videos overlooking Pumpkin's allegations. The two then became friends. There was even a concerted effort for Lewis McClung, one of the biggest commentators covering Pumpkin, to walk back his false claims. I genuinely think that if Pumpkin carried down this route, he'd be in a much better position, but that wasn't to be. Instead, Pumpkin confined himself mostly to TikTok and Twitter, a decision that would lead to his unraveling. In early March of 2025, Pumpkin
yeah?
would post a partial face reveal by cropping parts of his face and sticking them onto a picture of his body. This is most likely more desperation to prove Pumpkin is who he says he is. Despite this, these constant illusions would obviously never satisfy these people until the whole face reveal. The best option was just to ignore it. Yet when Pumpkin was pressed on this, he said he didn't want to show his face because of the bruises he had, only for them to label him a guilt tripper making him excuses. You can't please everyone. These constant fights attracted users of the gossip forum lolcow.farm, who had been keeping an eye on Pumpkin's posts. The discussion, and especially this picture, led them to an old claim about Pumpkin's old channel, allegedly named Micah Studio. He had previously addressed this at length, claiming it was actually his cousin. Around this time, accounts started popping up on Twitter, claiming to have Pumpkin's docs, saying that his so-called cousin was actually him. Or rather, her. Yes, these sporadic accounts were claiming that not only was Pumpkin actually born a girl, but she was much younger than she let on. This entire time, few people had seriously questioned Pumpkin being an adult. The overwhelming amount of stories and details were so convincing. But if they were actually only 16 years old like the claim suggested, that was something else entirely. The alleged yearbook photo matched up with the pictures Pumpkin had given us. To add on to this, a user from lolcow linked the photos provided to a Japanese language preschool in the US. The joint date of the person found meant that they would be 16 at the start of 2024.
This is doxing
From
though,
this,
that's
other
not
people found this person's
okay.
father. Some went out of their way to message the dad,
Oh my
warning them
gosh.
that their daughter was pretending to be a 19-year-old man on Twitter.com.
Oh my
Upon seeing some of
gosh,
the
that's
leaks,
still
Pumpkin
doxing, that's not
responded saying,
okay.
"How gullible are you guys? For the last time, that face leak isn't me but a relative. We don't even have the same eye color. So who were these nefarious doxers? Was it the evil lolcow.farm? Not really. They were only following up on information from separate doxers, who got their info from people from Pumpkin's high school. To back this up, they even
Still
provided
not
IRL
okay
pictures
to do
taken of
that.
quote-unquote Pumpkin from the school premises. They also claimed Pumpkin came to school once with a previously featured Pumpkin mask on, before then flexing both the normal and NSFW Twitter profile at a party. Tell them about her flexing her account, and how you caught her during the Little Pumpkin. Oh wow. It was at a Halloween party, and she was showing me that she has like thousands of followers. Then showed me her NSFW account, which was just great and dandy. She gets invited to parties? No way. Oh my god. Only one that I know of. Wait, so like did she come into school today? Yeah, but she was asleep all class. Odd. She didn't have her tablet today though, which she is always on. Around a day or so later, Pumpkin deactivated all of their accounts, and messaged GoCato with a few solemn words.
Daxeroni,
No, I'm okay, but I'm not coming back,
pepperoni.
nor will I ever. People brought other people in that had nothing to do with it. I took on everything. I don't have a card. I don't know how someone hacked it. I don't know if they did or someone posed as me. First off, I don't use or add G. Second, there's a typo error and I never say something. I always say something. Why is there random capitals? I don't use
You don't say
comma
something?
things like
I say
never
something.
used y'all, I just
Something.
say y'all. That was not me. But leave it. Let people
Ugh.
believe what they want. I don't want them digging any more deeper with these other people. Have a good life, Goat. Wish you the best. And since then, Pumpkin has never
Thank
been
you.
seen again. Whichever way you cut it, these detractors and classmates essentially doxed and stalked what they believe to be a 16-year-old.
Bingos! Sorry, hello, how you
That's an
doing?
irrefutable fact.
Bingos, yes, Bingos is still there. Can say that, Gishi. What? Bingos? I cannot say Bingos?
Even in Pumpkin's last message, he doesn't confirm or deny whether the dox was him.
Come on,
And it left
okay.
people wondering,
Sorry.
was this real?
Sorry.
Not out of any obsession over personal information,
Sorry.
but because the implications of such a lie were huge. The difference between Pumpkin being a 19-year-old man and a 16-year-old girl is worth discussing for various reasons, whether it be the NSFW account, the gender euphoria lamentations, or the validity of
this is fun.
events.
Oh,
Back
okay.
in 2023,
Okay.
a user named
Thank you,
Hero
thank you.
uploaded a TikTok claiming Pumpkin
Thank you
had
for
faked their
easing
entire
up
identity. They found a very similar
my
account to Pumpkin's
fears.
named Micah
Thank you.
Studio, a girl who claimed
Don't
to be
look at me
Japanese
like this,
American,
Daza.
Black and Asian,
What
and
did
an
I do?
animator. The YouTube channel showed the similarity between both art and
Oi.
coloring styles. Meanwhile, the Instagram had an animation of the Pumpkin the Gentleman character predating the creation of the actual TikTok account. It
I'm
also
just
had a pumpkin paper
doing
mache
a
mask
little
and
bit
suit,
group up of
both
the
also seen on
layers.
Pumpkin's account.
Okay.
The account also included
Here we
Micah's
go.
face and where she lived. When Pumpkin got wind of this, he made a video stating that this was actually his
Oh.
cousin. He had supposedly asked her to
Look,
stand
no
in
render.
and post videos
No
of herself
render
as a sort of
version.
mascot for his account.
No render,
Hero's
almost
video
a
would
render,
also
okay.
cause Micah Studio
Boom.
to get harassed, and Pumpkin then confronted Hero about their
Boom.
TikTok, demanding to know their
Boom.
real name and address. The Micah Studios
What's
account
that?
then started messaging Hero.
I'm cleaning
also
up the
demanding to
file a
know this
little bit.
person's real name and address in the exact same tone and typing style as Pumpkin. When this information was brought back up again in 2024, Pumpkin would post a TikTok saying, "When this account was first made, it was with me and my cousin, who was and is still a minor. She was sort of the mascot. I let her post videos of her dancing or in my pumpkin head while I posted the art and cooking pictures. However, soon I realized she was getting too involved in certain things, and with the account growing popular, I realized it was endangering her. The decision of kicking her out to this account was finalized after her information and face was doxed. Alongside that, Pumpkin leaked some supposed messages between himself and his cousin. Yo, you up? Yeah, why? Remember when I made you that pumpkin paper mache?
I do know some artists do actually draw a full anatomy under even if there is not going. Yeah, if they're not going to use it. I mean, to be fair, if I were to be paid to draw the full on thingy down there, I would draw it, but it takes lots of time to draw it. So you know, only if you're commissioner or if it's your own project, blah blah blah. You can actually draw it, even if, you know, just for the future, maybe. Like, who knows, you know?
A mask and lent you my
For the
suit and everything 'cause it was
Francis,
too
for the
small for
fun.
me? Yeah. Then a few days later, you crashed it to drop it off, but then we decided to make a character off of it, then the account. Oh yeah, then since I looked so fabulous in it, I recorded vids. You edited it, then we posted it. Which, why did you delete them? They were good. Because people kept thinking it was me, and I didn't know how to explain to them they were you because you were kind of the mascot of the account. And bro, now the edits and vids were
Yeah, like a
why did you
businesswoman.
use phone and I was there? I could have recorded
Because
the
of the
video for
glasses?
you. Better camera movement. Because it's cringe. I don't want you to see. Me doing the dances or whatever, I don't know, I'm shy. Also, if people said wish about you thinking it's me, I don't want that. But remember when we kind of did collabs? Like the Quite thing? Oh yeah, yeah, you do the drawing vids.
Oh, yeah.
When I come over and record that response vid to that girl with like 660k or something. That was so nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking. Shut up, fat ass. Roblox built R. F you built blocky AF. Looking like you better do a Roblox emote. But why are you
So
asking
when
about
they're
this
gonna
again?
kiss or something?
Did that hero nightmare something guy say about me again? Nah, other guy. But yeah, just needed your confirmation. Bro, I'm so sorry. Bro, it's I. No, but I kept pressing you to let me make
What's happening? Are they flirting with each other? I just don't, like, you know, like, I don't think that I'm kind of catching it. No, like, what, that you said you would do it for commission? I mean, that you are thinking like a businesswoman. Ah! I mean, I'm not against that at all, you know, but, you know, like, time is time. So, I would do a lot of, like, enthusiastic free shit back in the days, until this day, kinda, blah, blah, but right now I just physically don't have that time. I still would like to, but right now I just physically don't have that time. But I still would like to, and I still will, and would.
edits of me into posted first, which caused this whole confusion in the first place of why people think I'm you, which is so stupid.
What I was about to do,
I'm a
I
girl,
forgot.
you're a hobo.
Shit.
Man, you two. But yeah, I'm a dude.
Are they
now.
flirting
Do you
with
think
each other,
maybe it's 'cause of our
deadass?
skin tone? The authenticity of these DMs was heavily questioned, due to it reading less like a conversation and more like a play-by-play recounting of events. Not only do these messages seem strange,
Flirting
they
right
don't
in my
add up with
face.
Pumpkin's own words. Back in 2023, Pumpkin made his first response to this claim. Apparently, he made a pumpkin mask and gave Micah his suit for Halloween. She made an animation and character from the outfit and then gave back the fit. Pumpkin then saw the potential in the character and Micah taught him how to animate, before going on to develop his own style, whilst Micah stopped making animations in February 2023. Now, let's compare this side by side with the DMs. In 2023, Pumpkin claims he gave Micah a suit for Halloween, she made the animation and character, and then gave back the fit and they worked on the Micah Studios account. But in May 2024, Pumpkin claims he gave the suit because it was too small. They both worked on the animation and character before working on the Pumpkin the Gentleman account.
And then my slime
And whilst the
trackers.
animation
Slime trackers.
process
What's a
does
slime
explain the
tracker?
similarity in art style, it doesn't explain the similarities in handwriting, for example. Unless Pumpkin was tracing over that as well. Plus, he says he developed his own art style from this, but did he really? Isn't it convenient how the Micah Studios channel stopped posting
Like for
around the
VR.
same time the
Slime
Pumpkin the
track-
Gentleman
what's
account
a slime
started
trackers too?
posting? Or is it possible Micah made a Halloween costume, made an animation, it got super popular, and she had the idea to make a TikTok account around it? Another piece of evidence that Pumpkin showed was his alleged Japanese passport, which is entirely censored except for the
Full
date of birth
body
being June
trackers. You call it slime
2005
trackers?
and the
I
gender
see.
being male. However,
That's
this
cool.
birth
One day I
date
want to
is
have
directly
something like this,
contradictory
but it's
to another
probably
of
really
Pumpkin's
expensive, right?
testimonies. In the exact same response video, Pumpkin said he started posting to his NSFW account the moment he turned 18. However, that started in April 2023. So if this is true, that passport is a fake. Either that or Pumpkin lied here and actually started posting NSFW when he was 17. The leaks themselves indicate that Pumpkin's birthday was actually in November 2007. So take that as you will.
Multi-passport.
Keen onlookers also picked up something interesting from these messages. If you see here, Pumpkin said he made Micah the papier-mâché mask, then lent him the mask and suit because it was too small for him. He restates it being too small for him in his response video. This is interesting because after Micah's so-called removal, videos with the mask and suit continue to go up on Pumpkin's account. The main one in question is this TikTok from June 2023, where someone is featured with the mask and suit on,
the problem
followed
is
by
on
someone
TikTok.
with the mask on, as well as a red gown. Then the next video is the person with the mask and gown twerking. That specific part was later reposted in April 2024. In the repost, Pumpkin states that this is him doing it, but there's obvious questions here. He said the mask doesn't fit him, even though it does in the same way it does with his supposed cousin. He also said the suit doesn't fit, even though here he's wearing the suit. It is very probable that these two are one of the same. Though these DMs were leaked to clear Pumpkin's name, it only brought up more and more questions. Even if his story is to be believed, he essentially took his 15-year-old cousin's character and turned it into an NSFW Tumblr sexy man.
The company is Slime VR, and they're like houseless trackers, meaning they work without lighthouses. They're not that expensive. The expensive stuff are the ones that work with the light. I see. Kishi, hi, Gengatki, hi. How you doing? They give it like $400 something. So much. I mean, considering that it's trackers, they don't need that of the. Okay, I guess not that bad, right? Right? But the one that work with lights. What do you mean the one that work with lighthouses? If the trackers work without lighthouses, the ones that you're using right now. I just don't know that much about those things.
If the mask and suit don't fit him, who is wearing the suit and the mask here? Is it his cousin? And if so, then why in the f would you let your underage cousin twerk for a video on your account? So either these two are the same and we've been duped, or Pumpkin did some really weird stuff with his cousin for his TikTok account. And on top of all this, there's just other inconsistencies. For example, the build the Pumpkin was claiming was very clearly not matching up with whatever was actually being seen on screen. There are so many holes you can poke into this account, and the more that I think that Pumpkin is a 16-year-old, the more it all kind of starts to make sense. I mean, the constant irresponsibility, bad wording for serious tweets, misunderstanding of boundaries, general cringy behavior, the amount of time Pumpkin had to draw and still tweet most of the day.
I mean, this part is for sure different.
Have the most time on their hands. One final question I see sometimes in response to all this evidence is why? Why would Pumpkin fake all this in the first place? And there's a simple answer for that. It's because kids want to be adults. They don't want to be treated like a kid. They want to feel more mature or fit in with older friends they look up to. They want to bypass the restrictions their parents place because they think they know everything already and they're ready to be an independent adult. When in reality they're so far from what they'll learn. So please do not think that this is not entirely plausible.
Looks cool, actually,
because
right?
it absolutely is. This very well could be, as one lolcow user put it, OC world building taken too far. I implore you to make your own conclusions. After all, Pumpkin had drawn NSFW, even had an NSFW account. They'd posted about having jobs, being paid to be a cook, and I guess maybe faked being given a Father's Day card by a younger brother. Whilst this is all completely insane, if Pumpkin is 3 years younger than they said, that raises some questions that paint out a bleak reality. In case it wasn't obvious, Pumpkin being 16 is a huge and dangerous issue, and for an even worse turn, what can we say of Pumpkin's partners? Yeah, in case you didn't know, before this all dropped, Pumpkin was in an online polycule with 2 other adults, Evan and Cammy. I'm not entirely certain when Pumpkin started dating Kamari, but with Evan I can say at least from May 2024. Importantly, Pumpkin had to drop both of them for their inappropriate behavior. Evan was out in November 2024 after he was exposed for grooming and other activities. As per usual, rumors immediately began swirling that Pumpkin was blaming the victims when that never happened. But when Pumpkin eventually took the mantle to expose Evan, the details of that document included the 21-year-old Evan.
So Pumpkin, Pumpkin, is Pumpkin a girl? at the end of the day, or a guy? So the ones is used for work of like gyro, but it's a small chip that calculates rotation in each tracker. Lighthouse trackers have a box set that shoots infrared light when you have trackers on your body that grabs the light and calculates your motion based on that they're so what, like the whole thingy, how did it cost? Like the lighthouses, blah blah. How much did the whole thing cost? Oh my god, 1.0 Gishi. Yes, the first Gishi nostalgia, isn't it? Nostalgia.
Interacting inappropriately with a 16-year-old. Pumpkin even spoke out at the time and said it was wrong if Evan was interacting like this with a 16-year-old. Then
It's
there's
my internet.
Kamari,
It's my
Pumpkin's other
internet. It's my
partner.
internet. Don't
Pumpkin
worry.
broke up with Kamari
It's
in
me.
February 2025.
It's not
a month before the
you.
doctors
It's
started going
me.
round. This was because Kamari hid a lot of their past from Pumpkin, including manipulative behavior, doing favors for a pedo, and cosplaying as a lolly when they were desperate for money. That was Pumpkin's sign to cut Kamari off, even if they
It's
then
Gish,
made a
yeah,
long
it's
thread
Gish.
apologizing. Could it be possible that these
Yes,
two
blame
knew
Gishi for
Pumpkin's supposed
everything.
actual
Yes,
age
it's
the
me.
entire time? Is
It's
that
me.
likelihood increased by what they were then exposed for? On one hand, both Evan and Kamari were exposed for weird behavior and proximity to nonces. That
Where's
does
the
raise a lot
line
of
art?
alarm bells for obvious
I
reasons.
forgot to
But
copy
it's
that.
plausible Pumpkin may have lied about their actual age to them too. A former friend of Pumpkin and Kamari's stated that Pumpkin joined voice calls with a deep voice filter. We also know that whenever Pumpkin spoke on video, it was with a heavy
Thank you,
AI
Dungeon.
voice
Thank you.
filter.
I hope so
He
too.
also
How you
claimed that any
doing?
suggested pictures were published months after they were taken. If this is all true, it adds to the lengths Pumpkin may have gone to protect their real identity.
Huh? What's not working? Oh. Oh my god, I got scared that my... Oh my gosh, that's scary.
In February
my god,
2026,
brother.
an account resembling Pumpkin popped up on TikTok, with the same Pumpkin drawings we'd seen before.
Wait.
There was no mention of last
So my trackers are like 400, and the same tracking if you bought like house tracking would be like 1k to 1... Holy shit. Crazy. Just last one, yeah, there's a match I hear as in hold 1k to almost 2k. That's like holy shit. That's more than my one model. Holy shit.
year's revelations. In fact, the only response to drama was this statement. Any drama stuff is in the past. I don't plan on engaging in rage bait or responding to every comment. I've spent the last year improving on myself, so let's see if I can prove it. As the account became more known, TikTok kids jumped on it to meme the hell out of it. And following a comment section filled with "You're when I put on my dad fit," this account vanished off social media. I truthfully don't know whether this actually was Pumpkin or not, but there's a part of me that is hoping that this isn't Pumpkin. I guess it's easier for me to believe a 16-year-old was behind this account, because it's so typically bleak for these corners of the internet. I understand why there is still such a large amount of people who believe Pumpkin was who they say they were, because before these revelations, they had come out of the situation war-torn. Even with how irresponsible and careless they had been, especially in their boundaries, the amount of unsupported rumors and out-of-context screenshots that circulated around Pumpkin is mental. So I get why people still believe Pumpkin, but for this specific claim, the amount of evidence is pretty convincing. I'm also hoping Pumpkin is 16, because if they're not, and Pumpkin is actually a 19-year-old guy, this video has a very different ending. I would be saying this guy's a fucking dodgy weirdo who was posting these videos of his 15-year-old cousin and basing his sexualized character off their Halloween getup. But just from the tone of this conclusion, I think you know which theory I believe in. Assuming Pumpkin was 16 years old, they lied about a lot of things. But above all, posting and making NSFW whilst lying about your age is so unbelievably reckless and dangerous. Set aside the speculation about the partners, there were so many people who were entirely mistaken into viewing
Jokey, of course, Jokey.
And yet, there's a reason why Pumpkin joined these spaces at a young age in the first.
Honestly, close to like 2k200 if you're to full 12-point tracker and have a gyro 12 tracking and this. It's a lot of money. Yeah, it's like. It's if you want to live actually in the like VR world, like live
hope
there.
at the very least that they have taken this as a caution to stay away and find stability outside of the internet. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay toasty.
I don't want to be toasty. I don't want to be a toast. Who said I want to be a toast? Since when did people think I want to be a toast? I'm a mimic. I don't want to be a toast. I don't wanna die young, I don't wanna grow up. Na 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 na. What's that? What's that? Ah, it's underneath. Oh my god, I forgot that I need to draw shoes now. Ooh, brother, 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 brother. That is so. That is so. Even my internet is not okay with that. Even my internet is not okay.
In the world of online animation memes, one artist who you'd immediately recognize from his work was Sleepykin. Now known as Twisted Doctor, his sharp and expressive style once stood out like a beacon for his generation of artists. At his peak, he reached over 600,000 subscribers, and at the age of 16, had an adoring fanbase that followed him driving the community forward. But behind the popularity, things weren't exactly straightforward. Sleepykin's art and animations carried a darker, more complicated and controversial tone. The crass edginess would go on to define this era of the animation meme community, and it certainly felt really deep to the tween audience. But when it would reflect his own personality, it would start to attract serious scrutiny and criticism. Eventually, the tides began to shift. The spotlight gradually moved elsewhere, and the 16-year-old who had so much attention now had very little of it by 21. But the further he slipped out of the public eye, the easier it became for his secrets to remain hidden.
So many stupid children, I swear to fucking god. Ah, I need to draw boobs at the end of the day. I need to draw a chest.
One of the strangest coincidences in the animation meme community is that three of its most infamous figures, Cinnabear, Birdie, and Sleepykin, were all born on the exact same day, September 22nd. Sleepykin, however, was the oldest of these three. Born and raised in Italy, he co-started his first YouTube channel in February 2014, titled
but I don't want to be
Skrill
perfect.
Creeper. Because of this, he would later gain the nickname Skrill. And like many creators who would later become controversial in the space, his early life was far from stable. In several posts over the years, Skrill described growing up in a deeply troubled home environment. He claimed his mother behaved inappropriately towards him from a young age, later going as far as to label her a groomer. Alongside that, he described a generally chaotic family life, something that gradually pushed him further and further towards the internet. By around 14 years old, he was fully a part of the Sonic the Hedgehog fandom online. You can see this reflected in his old simplistic animations, which featured small stick figure projects or basic edits made using Windows Movie Maker and MS Paint.
Invite so many problematic people in, like it's like magnet.
Amateur.
Why?
In other words, it was a much more innocent beginning. Skrill's internet life would start to get him some friends, a few of them becoming relatively close to him. One of them was Sam, better known online as Prince Chain. Sam met Skrill through a Facebook page he ran that was dedicated to Italian Sonic fan characters. As weird as that sounds, the archive still exists to this day. The two would soon connect and become close friends, and going forward, Prince Chain would become one of the most important people in Sleepykin's life. He was first a longtime friend who started posting animations and artwork alongside Skrill, and later became a long-term partner. So the fact that Prince Chain was willing to do an interview with me helps a lot.
That's good.
According to Sam, Skrill later fell out with the co-owner of his first channel, who we can only assume is called Lala.
Lala. Ooh la la la. Some people go insane. You have to factor in the VR headset, your controllers, and your PC. Some people have a headset that are very high resolution than controllers that have finger tracking when you need a PC that can run it. If you were to buy, oh my god, yeah, it will cost like a freaking airplane. Some people are just rich. Can I have someone like this in the chat currently? Like, can you help me out, buddy, friend? Can just, you know, just a little help, just teeny tiny help. Will be nice. Will be really nice. I will say thank you. Don't think that I will do anything else that much, but I will drop an art for you. I can do that. How about that? Would you like that, buddy, friend? Pow. Pow, yeah. How about this? Pow. Buddy friend, pow. How about this? Pow. Have anyone ever called you pal? Buddy friend, pal. Ever. Is it working? I don't think so.
This led him to create his own channel in November 2014, the one that would eventually become Sleepykin. Sam stated that he felt Skrill always had a big dream of becoming famous on the internet, and despite not getting much attention
because
on
of the
YouTube,
tattoos, I don't see
his
shit.
DeviantArt
Gotta
was
be
doing
honest.
amazingly. When Five Nights at Freddy's came
I need to
out,
turn off the
Skrill became
tattoos.
obsessed and shipped himself with Purple Guy. Those FNAF fans really are imaginative. Later, his fan art of Mangle would do pretty well and feature in a number of AMVs. This dose of popularity got him and Prince Chain into a number of groups. The groups were mostly about drawing together or playing horror RPGs. Throughout 2015, Sleepykin mostly focused on DeviantArt, and by the time he returned to YouTube in 2016, his art and animation skills
I need to go to the specific communities.
The amateur style was
I think it's
gone,
time.
and in its place was something far more distinctive: sharp shapes, heavy shadows, and a darker overall tone. His characters felt more stylized, more dramatic, and far more polished than ever before. It took a few months for people to really notice his work, and once the growth started, it didn't really stop. By the end of the year, the Sleepykin channel was expanding rapidly. New viewers discovered a growing catalogue of animations, and many people viewed his work as leaps and bounds ahead of other creators in the space. Part of this came down to technique. While still pretty young, Sleepykin had a solid understanding of the animation tools he was using, particularly tweening, a method where the animation software automatically generates the frames between two key poses, creating smoother movement. While he definitely wasn't the first animator online to use this method, this was really good for a 15-year-old, and the results were impressive enough to stand out.
That's pretty
For
good.
a much younger audience watching, the smooth motion felt almost revolutionary, and even then they just loved the animations. Combined with his now signature art style
Oh
and
my
the
god,
introduction
freaking
of his
Adobe,
flagship
what's
character,
wrong with you
Mystery
today?
Burns, Sleepykin was becoming recognizable. When he first started in 2016, he only had a few hundred subscribers. Yet only a year later, he was fast approaching the 100k mark. His videos were pulling in millions of views every month, and a sub-community of its own was rising up around him, filled with other fellow animators. Sleepykin's success was impossible to ignore, but as always, attention on the internet can be both a blessing and a curse, especially to a 15-year-old. And while fans love the characters that defined his channel, almost nobody stopped to question where they actually came from.
Nobody, no nightmare. I mean, if you really do want to make a bag do for art, I'm not into that, you know. But some people pay crazy money for it. I heard it's actually like the market there became crazy bad. I heard.
In May of 2017, a video titled The Sleepykin Rant was uploaded to YouTube by a small commentator named Stories.
Because
if
of
that
her
name sounds
situation.
familiar, there's a reason for that. This is the same Stories who would later become infamous for accusing the commentator Spoctotech. A lot of people don't really know, but this is where her career first began, with that vintage text-to-speech voice.
Sleepykin. They're an animator whose animation style is founded on tweening. They have a large fan base. Cool. Their art leads me to believe that's the reason why many have fallen in love with their content. Trust me, I have too.
At first, the video seemed fairly harmless. The opening minute is mostly constructive criticism of Sleepykin's art
Did
style and
Marky
animation
crash? I
technique.
think so, maybe.
Nothing particularly hostile,
Don't know
just
for
the kind of
sure.
feedback you might expect in these spaces. But then the tone of the video shifts. At around 1 minute and 42 seconds, a title card appears on screen.
Rough.
And essay content. From there, Stories brings up a project called Nightmare. For those not in the know, Nightmare was a comic Sleepykin created in around 2015. It was long, over 90 pages, and followed a fictional version of himself transforming into his main character Mystery, an unstable serial killer who gradually destroys the friendships around him and hunts them down. The comic constantly jumps between extremes. One page might present something serious and emotional, then the next suddenly switches to absurd comedy. Toward the end of the story, Mystery confronts his friend Alfred, before being interrupted by Alfred's love interest. He throws a sharp object at Mystery, which he barely flinches at, and begins walking towards him. He panics and screams that his virginity is only for Owl. Everyone freezes. It's meant to be this funny record scratch moment because the guy assumed Mystery was about to SA him. In reality, he was simply planning to kill him. Mystery is portrayed as genuinely shocked that he would think he was capable of something like that, and the moment of confusion distracts him long enough for other characters to arrive and capture him. According to Prince Jane, Sleepy King thought Nightmare was going to be the next big thing. When he didn't get the attention he wanted, he emotionally shut down and got really mad. Over the next year, he would remake his comic into Re-Nightmare and create...
That's me. I have a new, I can paint people with 8-bit. Can I paint you? Of course. Hi, Luna. Welcome. How you doing? Welcome. Of course. Why no? I'm gonna be happy.
A whole animation series dedicated
I have
to
a whole
it.
Discord channel with the references of me as well, so if you would like to.
As a really huge deal.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it's kind of a nothing burger. This is just a kid making an edgy joke. Even in this joke, the crime is being presented in a genuinely negative way, where the serial killer antagonist is like genuinely horrified and shocked that she would assume this. But the comic was only the beginning. When Nightmare was remade, the darker themes were pushed even further, changing how the story was viewed. Outside of the comic, Sleepy King would start to double down on this initially rejected essay angle to Mystery's character. Sleepy King fully engaged with these topics to his audience. In comment sections, he responded to questions about these themes in a joking or casual way. Other times, he would simply draw the acts being discussed and upload them directly to his Tumblr page. Sleepy King later began drawing and shipping Mystery with members of his own fictional family. In other drawings, Mystery was depicted as a pedophile. Listen, I know its art is meant to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed, but this is a lot. We are pretty far from the whole, oh, it's just a kid making an edgy joke. Whenever people raise concerns about the nature of the content being posted, Sleepy King typically defended himself with the same argument. The characters were fictional, they weren't affecting anyone, and he was just a hobbyist, not a professional animator working for a company. But once stories collected everything in one video, and that very video started circulating, Sleepy King's go-to explanation wasn't enough for many people, and the reaction was deeply divided. Some viewers believed his tone towards these disturbing themes was normalizing them for a younger audience. Others defended him, arguing that it was simply edgy fiction and shouldn't be taken so seriously. Eventually, the debate escalated into a full-blown campaign. #SaveSleepyKin.
Sarcasm. I know. #sarcasm from me as well.
These kinds of maps were suddenly taken down by YouTube. From what I can discern and assume, because I don't have a lot of sources here, most of the videos are taken down, so I kind of have to guess.
They don't understand sarcasm from me, my own audience.
Stepping in themselves, and also critics false flagging him. This got to such a point that Sleepy King couldn't even upload videos. This issue was eventually resolved, but it became a major reality check.
Sorry, I'm an old woman already. Gotta be serious.
Apologizing, but also denying that he did anything wrong, which only fueled more outrage against him. And as the drama spread further, it began affecting him personally. In a comment under Stories' video, Sleepy King asked her to take the video down, explaining that the backlash had begun spilling into his real life. Today, even my sister's friend came in our house and then said, "I watched a video, and it says you do jokes." My mom heard that, and if it wasn't for me telling her it was just a joke video, I would have gone in an even more f***ed-up situation, and I'm really upset. Shortly after this, Sleepy King announced that Re-Nightmare will be placed on indefinite hiatus, whilst he reworked the ideas. We never got that next episode, bar a joke remake in 2024. For years afterwards, Skrill would repeatedly ask to stop re-uploading the comic online. The Nightmare drama of 2017 and the subsequent dogpiling
I think I turned off something really important.
For Sleepy King, one that he would bring up later on at numerous times.
I'll paint you with all what I know about you. Ah, that's going to be cute, I
animations
think.
and NSFW art weren't affecting anyone was thrown in the trash, as a fledgling fan of his showed how far that belief would be taken. Birdie, a young rising animator who was around Sleepy King's subscriber count, had just come out of a pretty high-profile controversy. When his obsession with another animator, Kitty Dog, clashed with some of Kitty Dog's most vocal fangirls, Birdie posted an animation of him killing them all. The video became infamous for its cringe level, or whatever, but at its deeper core, it highlighted a sort of parasocial obsession Birdie was dealing with. That very obsession would again be brought to the forefront when he moved over to Sleepy King. Using a Google Plus account, Birdie would draw and post NSFW art of himself with Sleepy King's character Mystery. Some of these sexualized the very themes that Sleepy King had faced huge backlash over. This account was incredibly obscure, only 2 people knew it existed, Birdie and his partner at the time, Fontic. But eventually, that secret didn't hold, and Fontic leaked the Google Plus link. That soon reached Prince Chain and then Sleepykin. Both of them strongly condemned it, although Sleepykin's statement sounds like he's a lot more concerned about his image. Either way, these pictures became a fully public attraction. Sleepykin would later befriend Birdie and feature him on some live streams. Even though the main drama surrounding Sleepykin began cooling down around August 2017, the effects of it lingered for months afterward. Finally, in December 2017, Sleepykin posted a public statement on DeviantArt. It was the first time he formally addressed the entire controversy. So what happened? To sum it up, I've been doing some bad stuff in the past, and before saying anything else, I regret it, okay? I'm deeply disgusted from myself, and I definitely stopped doing it. I used to joke on and even draw it. Luckily, everything is fictional. Even my past self would despise real related things. And circa 7 months ago, a YouTube ranter who was pretty small at the time decided to bring it up. Now, they got slightly popular because of this, and they're now enjoying having a public. And somehow, I'm glad I opened a door for them. The rant blew up, and since it blew up, people realized I did something terrible. And for some reason, everyone started ranting on me. Everyone's saying the same exact thing. At first I started reacting in the wrong way, and I'm sorry about it, but every single comment I got was against me. I understand why. And that was stressful to the point the only thing I felt was guilt and rage. However, I kept apologizing but still denying that what I was doing was wrong, and so kept doing it. Then one day, around 5 months ago, I had enough. I realized I was the messed up one and decided I'd work on it. For some reason, it was really hard for me. For some reason, I felt affectionate to what I used to draw. But that turned out to be the best decision. I realized it was wrong and decided to stop. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm deeply sorry to the ones I made upset, and I will never be able to thank enough to the ones that forgave me anyways. Love you guys.
I love you guys. Hearts and kisses, blah blah blah. He regrets it. Don't understand.
Despite his
Gotta be
controversy,
honest.
Sleepykin's
Don't
rise in the
understand.
animation meme community didn't slow down. If anything,
I don't
it
think so.
accelerated. Like many animators during 2018, his channel was
I don't
pulling in
think so
massive
at
views
all.
and a rapidly growing subscriber count. But alongside this success came a fiercely loyal fanbase. Sleepykin had started earlier than many other animators, and in some sense laid some of the groundwork for them. His early establishment meant a lot of his long-term viewers were especially
Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spur this. Thank you for the pet, but spur the sympathy. Like guys too, but it is not over. It is not over. It is not over, never. I cannot find the collarbone. Guys, I dead ass cannot. Oh, I found collarbone, I see. Such a small collarbone. Such a not prevalent collarbone. Gishi, what the fuck? Gishi, I adore you. Thank you, Varix. Thank you.
dedicated, and in some cases, that dedication turned into something more aggressive. Fans would
Your
regularly
schmall.
accuse other animators of copying Sleepyking's work,
Your mama.
sometimes for a little more than having a vaguely
Your
similar
mama.
animation style. Sleepyking himself occasionally called them out, and once he did, his fanbase followed. Smaller creators suddenly found themselves dealing with waves of harassment from viewers defending Sleepykin. Even people close to him weren't immune. According to Prince Jane, Sleepyking's own partner at the time, fans repeatedly targeted him with harassment, death threats, doxing attempts, and entire accounts dedicated to spreading hate. Sleepyking's responses to this harassment of his partner were minimal. Whilst he did occasionally tell fans to calm down, his statements didn't seem like real attempts to stop the behavior. After briefly stepping away from the internet following his earlier controversies, Sleepyking eventually fully returned in early 2018. But as he came back, his art had changed, noticeably. The sharp shapes that had once been a fun feature were now far more exaggerated, almost becoming the defining detail of his characters. The jagged edges weren't just accents anymore, they were the characters themselves. Safe to say the redesign didn't go over too well with his audience. In fact, it sparked another wave of debate inside his own fanbase, eventually leading Sleepyking to publicly address the change. In a video titled Same Face Syndrome, he explained the reasoning behind it. According to him, many of his earlier drawings suffered from exactly that. characters with identical facial structures that looked almost interchangeable. In the video, he encouraged other artists to experiment more with character design, even letting them use his own redesigns as examples of how to avoid the problem. This isn't the first time same-face syndrome had been discussed online, but this video in particular would spark a sort of online mass hysteria among young artists trying to avoid it. This creates an absurd scenario where Sleepykin urges artists to avoid same-face syndrome and base their redesigns on his work. The artists that do it then get harassed for copying Sleepykin, and the artists that don't follow get criticized for having same-face syndrome. It's like a lose-lose situation. Now, disclaimer, I cannot draw to save my life. But from an outside look, it is worth noting that although Sleepykin's new character art style shows them with different faces, they do still have the same kind of bodies. I'm not saying Sleepyking's old work was peak art, change in general is not a bad thing. Art styles evolve, and if Sleepyking had stayed exactly the same as he was in 2017, it's possible his work would have quickly felt outdated. But what I am saying is that it does feel like the personalities of the characters have become lost. Drama,
I don't understand what they're talking about, but I'm just gonna like agree.
Sleepyking's reputation within the animation meme community remained relatively strong. Many younger artists still respected him, both for his experience and the technical quality of his work. He also collaborated with Spoxatech and PK Russell, two of the most critical people adjacent to the animation meme community. Whether he intended to or not, these collaborations definitely smoothed things over. By 2019, his channel passed a major milestone: 500,000 subscribers. Some of the videos he uploaded during this period are still among his most viewed to this day.
Are you that one guy from YouTube?
The guy from you what?
The guy from Ye Mama.
What are you doing here? Either studying herpetology or just chilling. It's up to you, Sugary Boo. Do you want to make an animation meme?
Yes, I do. What's your point?
Hee-hoo! Knew it. During all this time, I looked at you going around asking humans for information, but I yet catch you taking lessons from animation themselves.
But by early 2020, the animation meme trend itself was beginning to fade. The genre that had launched so many creators, including Sleepyking, was slowly running out of steam. For the first time, many of these young animators had to seriously answer the question,
and was like speaking like this, what was your first reaction?
Sleepyking's answer was a video game. The idea had started forming as early as 2019, but by 2020 he began focusing heavily on a psychological horror visual novel
but I know that a lot of people
Doll
watched
Eye.
it.
A lot of his own characters would be major features in the game itself. The game was, by all intents and purposes, an extension of the channel.
The same content.
Around this time, Sleepyking also rebranded. The name Sleepyking seemed to carry a lot of baggage from earlier controversies,
oh, come on!
so he began going by a new name, Twisted Doctor. Doll Eye wasn't just another side project. It was intended to be a serious production, developed alongside a small team of close friends under a group called Dreamsteed. Over the next few years, Skrill began really focusing on independent game development over animation memes, but the community he was leaving behind still had some echoes. By late 2020, Birdie had already been involved in several controversies and largely faded from content creation, instead spending most of their time in Discord hug boxes. But around June, Birdie began posting artwork referencing Sleepykin again, after years of peace between the two. Some drawings depicted Skrill as different characters, whilst others hinted at personal rumors, including an odd claim that Skrill was into piss. Sleepyking attempted to reach out privately in hopes of settling whatever issue was happening, but Birdie refused to talk. At the same time, he was reworking his Torturing Birdie comic, which introduced a new character named King Drowsy. No prizes for guessing who that's named after. As tensions escalated, Birdie began posting more direct criticisms of Sleepykin. Eventually, Skrill responded publicly, asking people to simply move on and leave the past behind. Birdie's community reacted with mockery, treating the response as something to laugh at rather than resolve. Screenshots of these conversations eventually reached Sleepykin, prompting him to release a longer statement. In it, he said he wanted to stay out of drama entirely, clarified that he and Birdie hadn't spoken in nearly 2 years, and denied several of the rumors being spread about him. He also acknowledged that whilst King Drowsy wasn't entirely based on him, the name choice made the reference difficult to ignore. A day later, a Discord group chat was made with Birdie, Sleepyking, Cinnybear, Birdie's partner Julian, and 2 anonymous people.
Did you notice their nicknames are much more creative than like the most VTubers in VTuber space? Are we actually that much uncreative from like basic YouTuber.
Sad Birdie lays out his issues. He'd grown out of his style of content
we
and
that
felt
bad?
hurt because they
Are we
used to be
that
friends,
much
but he was just
worse?
ignored one day. There were also a ton of secondary issues, such as annoyance at how Birdie and his partner were being presented, and the overassumption that Birdie's King Drowsy character was meant to represent drama, rather than it just not being that serious. Birdie also points out how he doesn't like Sleepy King because his abuser was inspired by his humor and aesthetic. Sleepy King sent an understanding response, saying that he felt King Drowsy may be read differently, and apologized if he came off in any negative way when they last talked. He was pretty busy, so he didn't really have much time to talk. Rather than an actual issue, it seems Birdie's personal grievances had spun out of control into an actual confrontation. It's hard to side with him when he started throwing punches for personal reasons, then cried about only being viewed as drama. It's like, bro, you started this. Like, I don't know what to say.
You are the
You can see
drama.
the differences in maturity from how the chat ended. Birdie sent a Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo fanfic to Sleepy King to read as some sort of weird joke, and Sleepy King just left the group. By October, Birdie publicly stated there was no kind of situation between them. Then, in March 2021, another major change happened. Sleepy King and his long-term partner Prince Chain broke up. To the public, the breakup seemed sudden and confusing, and even today, the full details remain unclear. This is mostly due to Italian law, which illegalizes leaking private conversations without the consent of the other party. Over time, Prince Chain has hinted at allegations of abuse, toxic behavior, and manipulation during this relationship. We know at the very least that Sleepy King apparently refused to defend Prince Chain over the last 6 years, whilst he was being attacked by his fanbase. At one point, Sleepy King even created a separate account and posted a video pretending to be a neutral viewer criticizing the animation meme community for failing us, indirectly defending himself for not saying anything. And if you think breaking up over text is bad, Sleepy King apparently broke up by sending a 5-page Google document. Not long afterward, Sleepy King posted an animation meme titled A Stranger. In the video, his persona attends a funeral. According to Prince Chain, that funeral was meant to represent him, implying a literal version of his death. A few videos referencing Sleepy King and Prince Chain's relationship were later set to private. In the years that followed, Prince Chain has also alleged that Sleepy King attempted to intimidate him into silence and even contacted his family repeatedly. A lot of these claims are pretty serious,
Guys, I will
although
intimidate
many of them
you now.
remain disputed. However, what can be confirmed is that the relationship ended on very unstable terms, adding another complicated chapter to Sleepy King's online history. Hard to run away from the animation meme community without unaddressed.
Yeah, no, I'm old school PewDiePie Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. The second one is the one who can a new era in movies, Iron Lung. I know. I mean, I'm from the same generation. But I watched only PewDiePie. I watched only PewDiePie, and I watched like a little bit of him. I don't know, I've been mostly to the just different communities, I guess. I was not watching them that much. I was watching... What the hell I was watching? I guess a lot of Russian stuff as well. Like, we had our YouTubers.
Questions following you.
Stranger! What?
In October 2021, a former friend of Sleepy King posted a Twitter thread expressing their complaints about his racism. The thread was written by Webb, a former moderator of Sleepy King's official Discord server. Webb's main complaint was about the racial jokes Sleepy King had made in private conversations. According to them, some of the jokes involved allusions to the N-word, whilst others were moments where he said it directly in voice chats. Privately, Sleepy King had already apologized to Webb twice. In the second apology, he also mentioned personal trauma as part of the explanation for why he made those jokes in the first place. That explanation didn't sit well with Webb. Frustrated, they decided to go public with their experiences and posted a long thread criticizing his behavior. The thread didn't gain much traction, only a few hundred likes, and for a moment it looked like the situation might simply fade away. But Sleepy King's response ended up bringing more attention to it. About 2 weeks later, he posted on a private burner Twitter account. In the tweet, he expressed frustration at people spreading what he described as cropped and twisted context, saying that anyone with questions should speak to him directly rather than assume the worst. This tweet seems a little confusing, because from what we can see from Webb's thread, it's hard to know what context was left out. Webb even showed Scroll's apologies throughout their conversation. In the following days, Sleepy King clarified that he wasn't trying to play the victim, and reiterated that he believed the situation had been misrepresented.
So if someone will say something bad about me, that is...
In those screenshots, the discussion actually appeared much calmer, and at several points, Webb even said they were willing to move on if he had genuinely changed. However, as soon as Sleepy
even the bad
starts
things
playing up
about
the
me.
trauma angle,
Yes,
Webb
oh my
gets visibly
fucking
more
god.
annoyed. You probably know how irritating it is to
I
call
can
someone
never
out
create
on
a fucking
anything,
cult.
and then they immediately flash up their trauma. Immediately, it puts you in an uncomfortable spot, and it feels like an attempt to redirect the conversation. Sleepy King later posted a public apology for making racist jokes, and announced plans to run a charity stream raising money for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I don't know if this stream happened and would be very
That's an
interested to see
interesting
it, but I
name
do
to the
know that this whole
organization, but
incident
maybe I
seemed
just
to
don't know
really
something.
affect Skrill. For a
Most
guy
likely I
who said
don't
he
know
was just gonna
something.
let this go, 4 months on, he was still talking about the hate he
And
got from this,
говоришь?
and how
Чё
sometimes it affects
говоришь?
him so hard he can't function.
Чё
You think
говоришь?
after literally doing a repenting stream for his racism or whatever, he just let it go or ignore people still calling him racist
Чё
if he's already
говоришь?
changed? These two tweets are like worlds apart. But if this was causing him grief, he was not prepared for what would be posted soon. In November 2022, an anonymous
was
user
not
published a
ready.
28-page document accusing Sleepykin of grooming. The document
Да, я
centered
правильно
around
поняла.
a private Discord server called The Symptoms. According to the claims, the server included members between 16 and 18 years old, while Sleepykin himself was 19 at the time. The accusations described uncomfortable conversations in the server, including discussions about sexual topics and online roleplay scenarios. It also alleged that Skrill maintained another private Twitter account where explicit discussions were shared with minors. There were also claims that he had threatened legal action if this person publicly spoke about their experiences with him. Despite the 28 pages shown in this document, there's not really a lot that is actually shown here. There's a lot of claims made, but barely any evidence for those claims. They talk about this NSFW Twitter, but the most that I'm shown is just venting tweets. The sexual roleplay they show is a character kicking another character in the balls. So that one
Pretty
particularly
sexual to
unusual
me.
detail was that the anonymous accuser never stated their own age, despite claiming they had been groomed. But what seemed just as unusual
Вот
was
говоришь, ты не надо
Sleepy King's
говорить, а я теперь буду
response.
говорить.
Instead of
А
working
то
on a
говори.
full statement, he altered his private
говори.
Twitter bio to accuse the anonymous
Своё
user
слово
of
отстоять
being a
надо.
compulsive liar and scammer, and directed people to a TikTok account with 19,000 followers belonging to an artist named Pasca. In doing so, he
Pasca.
effectively revealed the identity of the person behind the accusations. He also briefly changed his profile picture to artwork
The
Pasca
model is
previously
saving so
commissioned from
long
him,
now.
and when people found this out, he then pivoted to more of a victim aesthetic, lamenting about his want for privacy and how people are obsessed with him. Despite his emphasis of, quote, communication is key, sending the public his response through how often he changed his Twitter bio was not a good start. On November 23rd, another anonymous user who claimed to be a member of the Symptoms server posted their own evidence, but this one wasn't against Sleepy King, but instead defending him and
Oh, it's
debunking
the
the document.
first
According to
Alfred's
this
version?
document, Pasca had been publicly claiming to be
Yeah,
19
I
years
think
old,
so.
while actually being 15 at the time in order to gain access to NSFW discussions. So already, that's a big lie off the rip, and kinda showing why this person was so hesitant to actually say their age. The document showed that Pasca had been kept away from certain chats because of their age, and that moderators had even deleted an entire discussion channel
What's
they were
that?
planning. Screenshots included
What's
showed how
that?
Sleepy King
Oh,
had
the next
actively
one?
excluded Pasca from conversations
Yeah,
involving
right
adult
now I'm trying to
topics
clean up
because
the
of their age.
file
The one
a little
accusation that was
bit.
confirmed was that Skrill
But
had
yeah, we're
threatened legal
already
action. Though it
going,
pointed out this threat was
moving
not
to
about the
the
racism
next
controversy as it was previously framed, but
one.
instead because Pasca was trialing this
We're
false grooming
moving.
allegation. Another
We're
major point
schmoving.
involved claims that Pasca had scammed Sleepykin. Pasca had
I
been responsible for producing
did.
plush toys that Sleepykin was selling. After the earlier controversies and legal tensions began, Pasca allegedly stopped delivering the plushies despite being paid.
I still need
According
to
to
work
their
on the
document,
body, of
they claimed
course,
this
a
was
lot.
because they feared Sleepykin
yeah,
would obtain their personal address and phone number for the legal action. But other messages suggested that Pasca had previously told a mutual
I'm
friend
happy as well.
that plushies had already been shipped.
Lots
Over
of
the next
happies.
6 months, they reportedly continued offering excuses whilst holding onto
But right now,
roughly
I'm cleaning up the file.
$1,200, which was later allegedly spent on a new fursuit.
We clean.
This document entirely destroys a lot of the narrative that
Соскучилась по
Pasca had tried to
языку?
build up.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
idea that Sleepy King was any sort of groomer was just
Я только вчера 4 часа стримила на другом канале, на русском. Так что...
demolished by itself, and the innumerable amount of lies that were
Thank you,
being
thank you.
peddled.
Of course,
A
of course.
document
How
was
you
even
doing, Jin?
posted a month later, exposing Pasca as an abusive partner.
delete.
It would almost be poetic to say
Okay,
that
this
Sleepy
one
King did
delete
this
as
all without
well.
raising a finger. In December
Delete
2022,
as
Sleepy King
well.
finally published his own response
Delete
through a
as
card page
well.
addressing many of his past controversies. The opening statement talks about years of insensitive humor and poor judgment,
Delete
explaining
as
that much of his
well.
early content was created when he was still a teenager, suddenly exposed to a massive online audience. There was another apology for the racist
Delete.
joke, a total denial of Pasca's grooming accusations, and a denial of
Delete.
being into and all related artwork was just immature jokes. He also explained that he had been largely absent from social media because he was dealing with personal issues at home, including moving away from his mother. The general statement concluding everything shows Sleeper King reflecting on his time
that's
online.
one of the first sketches. Holy shit!
Of what happens when a platform is
shit,
given to
that's
an
cool.
unsupervised
That's
minor.
one of the cool
I was
moments
14
that you can
when
have.
I first became relevant, and I was at my peak at 15. I'm 21 now, so I've had
Oh,
my
it's
fair share of
different since
controversy.
the dress is different. Shit.
For I have grown up in front of the eyes of thousands. I've been immature, and my behavior can be very emotion-driven. I freak out and go into a black/white thinking mode with much ease. I have over and over again been irresponsible around the presence of other people. This is something that I acknowledge, and that is the reason I've been closing off more and more from social media. I've been trying to keep it art only and avoiding public interactions as much as possible. No interactions in the Dollar Discord server either. Plainly and simply, shutting the hell up. In addition to learning from my past mistakes and not repeating them, I think it's about all I can do to minimize the hurt I've caused to the world. I do not plan on leaving nor cancelling my projects until I get bored of it on my own terms. So if you're looking forward to my departure, I'm sorry, not gonna happen. Not anytime soon. I think the mindset of throwing everything away as a result of past mistakes is a counterproductive mindset. Creating art brings me joy, other people's creations bring me joy,
This is first outfit version, holy shit.
Is expanding on that joy, because the world could use
is the
a
first
little more of it.
ever.
Whilst this whole
Why is it still in
statement
the
is fine,
document?
it doesn't really mean much in the grander scheme of things. The racist jokes, the old behavior and humor, even being a golden shower demon, all of that had already been denied or addressed before. To restate these denials in the face of a grooming allegation, one that he ultimately doesn't spend too much time talking about, seems kind of weird. If I didn't already know that Pasca's document was false, I would think maybe these readmissions is part of some sort of
I cleaned up the file a little
From
bit.
2022 onwards, Sleeper King basically didn't get involved in any drama. The animations, the development of Dolai, selling plushies, pretty much everything continued without issue. The animation memes were nowhere near as popular now, but the focus was still on the game. In May of 2024, Sleeper King would begin dating one of the voice actors for Dolai, named Phosphine, and amidst the fog of war kicked up by everyone else during late 2024, Sleeper King remained fairly safe in the shadows.
I'm pretty sure that this is not the right version of anything, but
what
to
happened
be
from the Pasca drama
sure I'm not
was somehow
fucking over
still
it.
yet to be resolved. Contrary to at the time popular belief, the accusation from Pasca was not the first one made, and in the coming months, that ignored
I'm pretty sure I don't
accusation
need this
would
one
prove to
either.
be a lot more trouble than the last.
Pretty sure.
On May
Pretty
2nd,
sure.
2025, a document was posted to Twitter, supported by Prince Chain themselves and detailing serious accusations of grooming against Sleepy King. Yet, unlike the shaky claims made previously, this document was a lot more severe. It turns out that the complete failure and utter lies from Pasca's document had provided the perfect smokescreen for Sleepy King to evade some serious questions. The day before Pasca's document, another one was posted by Web and 3 anonymous users. This one was also mainly based on testimony and alleged some serious stuff that went on in past servers. However, it was utterly overshadowed by Pasca's document, and with the similarity of these allegations, most people lumped them in with each other. Sleepy King's card response never even outright acknowledged it. But in that fateful month of May 2025, these 3 anonymous users came back, with far more proof than before. For the sake of this video, the anonymous users will be given pseudonyms, particularly Q, V, and K. All of them met Sleepy King in very similar ways. On Q, for example, was a young
итоге, Мишаня, да не, если я так не останавливаюсь, значит это что-то неважное.
animator who met Sleepy King through him asking them to send sexual meme faces of his character Mystery. The two would later moderate Birdie's server during 2018. When they first met, Sleepy King was 16 and Q was 12. By the time this activity ended, Sleepy King was 19, whilst Q would turn 15. Throughout their friendship, Sleepy King was constantly paranoid about if someone would call him out for talking to people younger than him about nasty/controversial things. Quote, I did many things I wouldn't want to be public there. He then invited Q to 2 Discord servers, his public one named Mystery Stomach, and a private one named Triple Threats. Mystery Stomach, which was his main Discord server, was the first to come up. It ran from around 2017 to 2020, and included several NSFW chats that were 13 plus. Yes, 13 plus, which by the way is the default age gate for Discord's rules. So basically an entirely useless age gate for an NSFW chat pretty much open to the public. In his DMs with
Love
the
is an
12-year-old Anon
open
Q, Sleepy King
door.
is already acting pretty sexual, and can be seen eagerly waiting for the day they turn 13 so he can introduce them to those chats. And just in case you had any doubts, after they did turn 13, Sleepy King directed them to find sexual gifts from that specific chat. He even requested them to make some so that he could show it to his friends. Their messages later turned into roleplay throughout the next 2
fucking
years,
ew.
involving the sexual interest that Sleepy King had publicly denied. Anon Q isn't the only person who's had this experience. Take Anon V, who met Sleepy King through Tumblr back in 2018. V was an obviously huge fan who Sleepy King offered
If
to
you
add
only
on
could see my,
Discord.
like,
V was
face
later
right now.
invited to the Mystery Stomach server at
Like,
only 12
better.
years old. They attest the server was poorly moderated, even having a Run the Gauntlet challenge of shock site content. V stated he watched these videos all the way through and was only exposed to more NSFW content from the channels and artwork. He was later made a mod. Think about the fact that if a server like this allows a shock site challenge and an NSFW channel for 13-year-olds, what don't they allow? Well, whatever it was V's job to clean it up. How about Prince Chain's messages, where he reports kids being sexual in the general chat, and Sleepy King says, "It doesn't seem all that serious to me. I don't want this whole server to be NSFW, but I don't want it to be a server for 4-year-olds either. If they go to NSFW though, it's recommended they move to the NSFW channel." Or how about this exchange from his Tumblr blog? "Yes, there's for you. Dad, I want to see too. How old are you? I'm older than you. I'm 16. What? Do I need to be 18 or something? Just say if you don't want to and that's it. No, I just want to be sure you're in the age where you're mature enough. I'm okay with it as long as a young child doesn't ask for it. But I think that 13 plus can be mature enough. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay then, sorry for being annoying, again. Later on, in around 2020, Sleepy King's main server, Mystery Stomach, had its age rating upped from 13 plus to 15 plus. Yet the NSFW channels remained on the
how we
server.
feeling?
Sleepy King wanted Anon Q back on his server, but they were only 14 at the time. So get this, Sleepy King, who is 18 by now, encouraged Q to make a new alt account and lie about their age, advising them on how convincing it should be. Quote, "If you ever do, don't tell anyone I allowed it." Not only did this guy run a server with NSFW channels set for minors, but he actively encouraged people to bypass his boundaries.
Don't be
After
shy.
letting Q in, Prince Chain confronted Sleepykin and asked him if he had let Q into the server. Sleepykin lied and denied doing so. Obviously this might be from a biased and constricted view, but it seems like Prince Chain was one of the only people somewhat serious about keeping people safe, or at least a lot better than Sleepykin. On 2 occasions he highlighted pedophiles within his community. This included a 30-year-old on Sleepykin's Discord
30?
server who was using the mystery sonar to flirt with minors, and
Excuse
an
me?
18-year-old who used mystery to roleplay and kin with a 13-year-old on his Tumblr. On both times, especially the latter, Sleepy King hesitated for weeks about banning these people, because he didn't want to get involved in drama and hurt people, and he believed this could have just been a normal friendship. Getting back to the public documents, Sleepy King invited all 3 anonymous users to another server, that being a private one named Triple Threats. That very server also had an NSFW channel, simply called Meat Room. Again, the age requirement for such a channel was 13 years old. Then there's Anon V, who was invited in 2019 when he was 14, and also attested that there were members as young as 12 there. Sleepy King discussed and sent various sexual topics to V privately, as well as roleplay and offers to draw NSFW artwork. Some of these drawings would then be censored and used by Sleepy King on his public profiles. Then there's Anon K, who joined Triple Threats back in 2018. He attests that this server included NSFW art of his actual appearance whilst he was 13. No OC debate, he means his actual face. He also stated that Sleepy King made sexual comments around him and encouraged him to draw sexual pictures. The most surprising thing from this is that K mentions another older user on the server, that being Spacey Galaxy. Who is Spacey Galaxy?
Spacey
Well, nowadays
Galaxy.
they go under the name of official
Sounds like
Spinky,
someone's just
a
Samsung
mainly
Galaxy
NSFW artist. With nearly
Bluetooth connection.
80,000 followers on TikTok and 25,000 on Instagram, it's fair to say Spinky isn't exactly a nobody. Prince Chain notes that him, Sleepykin, and Spinky had been friends for years. In fact, apparently Spinky was the one who actually came up with the character design for Sleepy King's character Mystery. But this document was leaps beyond that, especially when she was encouraging a 12-year-old to write an SA fanfic of her and Sleepykin. In the server,
Oh my
Sleepy King and
God!
her would also apparently have numerous NSFW roleplays with Anon K. Though she is not mentioned any time after 2017, it's possible that during Sleepy King's activity, she had just as much influence on the server's members as he did. Before recording, I reached out to Spinky, and am now glad to say I have a response back. I asked about Victim K's document, and she said, I know. All I can say is that I remember this action as soon as I saw the call out. I know I made a stupid action, but I can't control my mistakes of the past. If the person came to me in private and told me about it, I would have 100% agree with them that it was stupid and apologize. But that's it. I don't want to deal with my past mistakes of a teenager just because it's in public. It's a waste of time for me, because strangers are then involved into it, which makes the situation worse than anything. I didn't even remember I did such a thing until now because I didn't talk with that person that much. I got stalked by ex-friends who are now making things up about me, and I much rather stay away from these situations as much as possible. I see you make videos. I really wish you didn't involve me, but I can't stop you, but I would appreciate it. I responded saying, to be clear, is that a confirmation of the alleged NSFW roleplays between yourself, Sleepykin, and the 12-year-old? She says, the only thing I remember is the fanfiction when I was also a minor,
People are not
the
okay.
roleplays. For the rest, I don't have any more information about this, and I'm not in contact with them for a lot of time. To clarify, I was a minor as well at the times. I don't want to be accused of being something that I'm literally not. Going back to the timeline, Sleepykin and Q's contact continued until 2020. Sleepykin would draw over Q's old doodles with sexual innuendos, and commissioned a 15-year-old to make sexual art for
Oh, my
him.
tummy is
The last
rumbling.
event in this timeline is Sleepykin drawing NSFW of him, Q, and Anon K. By this point, Q was 15, K was 14, and Sleepykin was 19. All three
Beautiful.
documents quickly picked up traction on Twitter and in the wider animation meme community. The amount of extensive proof attached alongside certainly helped, as well as the fact that all three people could corroborate the existence of these private servers. For Sleepykin, it was an inignorable disaster. Whilst a lot of this started when he was 16 and still underage, the amount of responsibility that was on him was greatly waived. Not to treat 16-year-olds like adults, but they should know better. Even he knew this, as he says so in one of the DMs. The fact that this behavior continued past his 19th birthday was just confirmation. Constantly roleplaying with these kids, inviting them to servers, encouraging them to draw NSFW, it has some very dark overtones. To call it a shock would be an underestimate,
Абстрагироваться
especially from a
настолько?
man who claimed to not
Абстрагироваться?
only be asexual, but also entirely repulsed by sexual topics.
Ну, берешь
Even in the document
и
call out from
рисуешь. И
2022,
ты такой...
he'd been given a chance to come clean.
Ну всё.
Instead, he dismissed this as
Абстрагируйся
just all
полностью.
jokes that he apologized for. His explanation was only scratching the surface.
Are we going to
It took
see the
until May
surface?
16th, 2025 for Sleepykin to post his initial response, titled, Leaving the Public Internet as an Individual, but not as an Artist. With such an upfront title, I was honestly expecting Sleepykin to go more on the offense. Instead, the video opens up and after the first disclaimer, I hear,
I am not a healthy person to interact with. I got caught in the cycle of abuse and hurt and traumatized a lot of people.
Okay,
Many of
since
them
you said it
younger than
yourself.
me.
The video has 6 main parts to it: sexually inappropriate, a small defense, racism, message to my victims, message to my friends and partner
Excuse
that
me?
recently left, and what's next. Already off the bat, I don't see a point in the racism section. Sleepykin has addressed it like twice in detail. I'm not hearing another one. Sexually inappropriate starts the exact same way Sleepykin laid out his defense to webcores, a plea deal about his trauma that then moves into an explanation for what he's into. He states these interests came from his fascination and a reflection of his own suffering. However, I still feel like this isn't addressing the actual thing that's going on.
Let's get one thing straight, because I notice a lot of misinformation. I have never practiced any assault, nor ever planned or wanted to. No real pictures were sent or received. No advances towards minors were ever made. It wasn't a artistic liking for it, but it will carry out in my art, stories, or jokes. I like showing
Don't
it to
understand how I
people
want to
and
render it.
cause reactions and attention. Many even encouraging me because
Not like this for sure, yeah.
it's just fiction.
Again, we're in the section where I feel you should be addressing what's going on.
That's just
and yet
fiction.
you're not. To be clear, whilst it is
Oh my
technically true that
gosh.
Sleepykin never sent pictures or tried to fly anyone out, he still had incredibly inappropriate friendships with the people he was talking to. He exposed them to this kind of material, roleplayed with them, asked them for NSFW art, drew him with them in NSFW art, specifically invited them to NSFW Discord servers, and encouraged one of them to lie about their ages. Do not
Что
let
такое
him
СМ? Еще не
downplay
работает. The fuck just happened? The fuck just happened? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. I'm so tired internet. We gotta rate some more. Tired for being with me today, but we gonna rate someone out. We gotta rate someone out because my internet been shit. So we gonna rate out to rate this. This is the rate message subrate. Thank you everyone. What the hell, Rich? Aren't you on your own stream? What the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? Aren't you streaming right now? How the hell you? What the? How the hell? You're literally streaming right now. What do you mean?
And hopefully, you know what, YOLO.
Brother, you're literally how? Is it automatic like voice recognition? Radish. Is he having a bot here? What the fuck? Brother, what the hell? We're gonna talk right now. We're gonna fucking talk right now. Bye bye everybody. Love you lots. Before my internet disappears again. Love you lots. The next stream hopefully by the schedule. But if it's not, I'm gonna say it like all the updates in Discord and Telegram. Okay, say. Love y'all. Давайте завтра, не завтра, короче, стрим будет, надеюсь, по расписанию следующий. Если нет, все апдейты в Телеграме и в Дискорде. Всем огромное спасибо, покусики. Люблю вас очень сильно. Пока-пока. Увидимся скоро. Давайте пока-пока. Спасибо всем, что пришли. Очень люблю вас сильно. Давайте пока-пока. Обожаю вас, мои котлетики. Пока-пока. Бай!